glad to be back here at Newton Field, and it seems so far away. It seems like July 4th was just a few days ago, but high school football is here. We started last week. Looks like the weather's going to hold for us, and we got a pretty good crowd filing in on this late August evening, and we are ready for some football.
And I had my directions screwed up, so it'd actually be Arrowhead kicking off left to right, Hudson moving from right to left, and Andres Burgess will be back deep to receive for the Hudson Raiders. Number 23, John Mack, is the kickoff man for the Arrowhead Warhawks. Ball teed up at his own 40-yard line. Hudson back, special teams unit ready, and here's the opening kick left to right, deep end over end, close to the goal line. Going to be taken at the goal line at 5, 10, 15. Crossing the 20, makes a man miss across the 25, 30, near sideline. Another slips another tackle, and finally driven out of bounds across the 41-yard line.
And I thought I saw a flag come possibly on a late hit, but I could be wrong on that. Nice return, nice opening to the season. Field position is so important in the game of football, particularly for the Hudson tonight, because they are the underdog and they are got to get their game legs on going against this excellent Heartland Arrowhead program.
And there was a face mask on the kickoff return, so tack on another 15 yards to that initial opening kickoff, and Hudson all of a sudden starts with the ball on the opponent's 45-yard line.
Well, how much better could you ask to start the season in your opponent's side of the field? So
well, I know quarterback Charlie Richards couldn't ask for anything more. The 5'9", 165-pound senior leading the troops onto the field. His first year starting under center for Hudson. 3 receivers set to the right. Richards under center. Motion man in the backfield. 1 running back. Handoff straight up the middle. Crosses the 45 and then pushed back at about the 42-yard line. That's Diemel, as you mentioned before the game. Dayton Diemel, as you alluded to, is probably going to be the key guy to focus on here in this Raider offense.
Well, he's going to be definitely a key. 5'10", 195-pound senior, one of the leaders of this Raider offense.
Richards again under center, 2 receivers to the right, now a man in motion. Fakes the sweep, rolls out to the right, he'll pass. A little high, nice one-handed grab by Diemel. He crosses the 35, and it'll be enough for a first down to the 33-yard line. A nice pass and catch from Richards to Dayton Diemel. And Hudson has their first down of the 2015 season.
Well, we talked about the passing attack, and Diemel had the first carry. They just ran him kind of on a little loop pattern out in the flat, out of the backfield. The pass was a little bit high, but he was able to pull it down. First down Raiders.
Offense moving quickly. They were set again under center. Now officials timeout. Looks like they didn't have the ball quite set, and there's a little bit of a problem with the chain gang there on the far side of the field. But it looks like Hudson wants to move relatively quickly here.
They do. That's one thing. This Hudson offense, it's like a hurry-up offense. It's a no-huddle offense, and that's designed to keep the defense on their heels, limiting their substitution ability. They run it very well, and particularly later in the second half of the season, once they get rolling here, they run this hurry-up offense very well.
Once we get the chains reset, it'll be first down for Hudson at the Warhawk 32-yard line. It looks like they're going to go with a wing T formation. Diemel as the eye back with 1 receiver out to the left once we do get this chain situation figured out. Down to 11-13 to go here in the first quarter. A couple of nice plays offensively so far for the Hudson Raiders after that big initial return.
Well, it is. This is exactly how they wanted to start the game. We talked about the variables, the intangibles, and I always say special teams play, penalties, and turnovers. And Hudson took advantage of 2 of the 3. They got a nice special teams play on a nice return, and then an additional 15 yards on a face mask penalty.
Like we said, 1st and 10 from the Warhawk 32. Richards again under center. 1 receiver to the left. No motion this time. Straight handoff Diemel, and he's stuffed at the line that time. Maybe a gain of 1, but obviously defense keying on Diemel early on.
Well, big number 56, Nate Schultz, 6'4", 260-pound defensive lineman. Junior for the Warhawks was all over that one. They had good defensive interior penetration that time, shut it down.
Now shotgun formation with 3 running backs and 2 receivers to the left. 1 tight end to the right. Richards out of the shotgun, takes the snap. Fake handoff, now he'll pitch out, across the 30, down near sideline 25-20, and he's pushed out across the 20-yard line. A nice little pitch from Charlie Richards, number 20, Steven Trapiccio, and another first down for the Raiders at the 19.
So far, so good for the Raiders. There's been so much talk about, being the underdog and this and that. Getting people to believe, getting your players to believe and your fans to believe that somehow some way. They can pull this upset tonight. It's looking good so far in the red zone on the opening offensive possession.
Richards back under center, takes the snap. This time again, they hand off Diemel, and again right up the middle. He stopped initially, a nice second effort, but still be pushed back for about a yard or two of a loss on the play. Down to 10:20 to go in the first quarter, and it'll bring up the first second down and long for the Raiders.
Big Colin Teal for the Warhawks, 5'11", 200-pound junior linebacker. Big hit on that play.
Three-back system again. Richards out of the shotgun this time. Two receivers to the far side to the right. Takes the snap. Again, they'll go option. This time Richards cuts it up inside the 15, and then 3 or 4 men drag him down inside the 13 or 14-yard line. So a nice little chunk yardage picked up by Richards that time, the quarterback on the keeper, and third down and manageable now for the Raiders.
Well, Charlie Richards isn't a big player. You know, he's listed 5'9", 165, and that might even be a little generous. But he's looking good out there. He's looking good. They need that senior or that quarterback leadership.
Back under center again, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Again, a wing back, and Diemel directly behind Richards. Under center, takes the snap, handoff Diemel. Nope, the option again. This time he pitches to Trapiccio once again. They will have enough for a first down inside the 10-yard line, and a late flag thrown on this one as well. So we could be looking at possibly a holding penalty or another defensive face mask.
Holding, yeah, it's going to be holding on Hudson. That's going to be tough. It's going to back him way up.
So holding penalty will negate a first down by the Hudson Raiders, so they'll back up. Spot penalty. So back to the original, basically the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and just over 10.
Yeah, that's, you know, talk about what a difference penalties make, you know, from 3rd and short to 3rd and 1, 3rd and 11. That's a huge difference, and it's such a momentum killer.
From the Warhawk 20-yard line, Richards out of the shotgun, 2 receivers to the left. Man in motion, takes the snap, looks left. He's going to fire that way over the middle. Caught inside the 15 and taken down at the 13-yard line. This one going to be close to a first down. Pass complete to number 82, Sam Carney, the 6'1", 195 senior. And it looks like they are going to give it a first down.
They are going to give it the first down. I thought we were going to have a measurement, but we're not. They're inside the 10. The Raiders knocking on the door with their opening drive of the 2015 campaign.
First and goal from the 9-yard line. 2 receivers right, 1 left, tight end left. Diemel, nope, they option again. Here's Richards inside the 5, dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Hudson Raiders. Charlie Richards with the opening drive touchdown. And the Raiders are on the board with an early 6-0 lead.
And Zach, you couldn't have scripted it better with the exception of that holding penalty. You know, this is where you start to believe. This is where the Rocky Balboa shows up against Apollo Creed, and he's the underdog. You're at home, and the momentum starts. You know, people start to believe. A good-looking drive for the Hudson Raiders on that opening possession.
Alex Shaw in to kick the extra point. Extra point team already on the field. For the Raiders, up 6-0. Hold is down, kick is up, and it is true. 7-0 Hudson Raiders early here in the first quarter. The Hudson Raiders strike first with 8:48 to go in the first quarter. They lead the Arrowhead Warhawks by a score of 7-0. And like you said, John, couldn't have asked for a better start to this 2015 season.
I really like the look of Diemel, like we talked about, but Charlie Richards, you know, he was a guy that did not have. Didn't have an experience last year,
Yep.
So he's coming in, just a little guy, 5'9", 165. I like the little guys. That's about what I am. Or I used to be 165. I don't think I am anymore. But good-looking drive.
Yeah.
Good-looking drive.
I mean,
also want to remind our viewers here that you can email us here at Newton Field. Very easy to do. Click on the Email Us link in the upper part of your game tracker screen. Love to hear from you. You can let us know who you are, where you're listening from. Who you're cheering for tonight. We got Hudson people on board. I'm sure we got some Heartland people that couldn't make the long trip. Glad to have you. I know when we've played them a couple times in the past in playoff games, got to know a few people from Heartland. Very nice people, and they certainly have a marvelous football program. So if you're back home listening, wherever you are, shoot us an email. I'd love to hear from you.
I made a mistake on that extra point. It was actually Christian Bell on the extra point for the Hudson Raiders. I said Alex Shaw. I misspoke. It was Christian Bell. And now for Hudson, number 46, we'll be doing the kickoff. Parker Polig will kick off for the Hudson Raiders from right to left. Back deep to receive for Arrowhead is going to be number 1, Justin Perrette, and number 42, Antonio Jose Ramos.
And if you're the Heartland Arrowhead Warhawks, I think it's imperative you come right back at Hudson, and this offense can really move.
Kickoff going to be taken at about the 12-yard line. Ramos out to the 20, into the heart of that kickoff return team, out across the 25, and then smothered by a plethora of Hudson Raiders tacklers, and that's where the Warhawks will start their first drive here tonight from their own 26-yard line.
Of course, the Hudson Heartland game, one of 23 games on the MSBN Sports Network tonight. Whether you're also joining us on watching the replay on the River Channel or Hudsonite.com, you can tune into MSBN Sports Network, MSBNSports.net for access to all these games. Everything's archived.
6'1" Johnny Duranso will be the man under center for the Warhawks. Actually, they'll start out of the shotgun. 4 receivers set, 2 left, 2 right, now 1 in motion, 3 to the right, and they'll go with an early run attack. Duranso fakes the handoff and then takes it himself off the left side and is driven back by about 3 Hudson Raiders that time. Number 34 was the first to get there, Josh DeZiel for the Raiders. After about a 3-yard pickup, it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Warhawks.
And I'm kind of reading body language here, and we've got a lot of game to go, but I'm not seeing that intimidated look right now for Hudson. That opening drive and putting points up on the board first has done wonders for this Raider team.
Again, a 4-receiver set for the Warhawks. 3 to the right, Duranso out of the shotgun. And then he hands off to the running back off the right side. A little bit of space here. Gets out near the 30-yard line. Makes a man miss. Now across to the 35 and driven out of bounds. It's going to be close to a first down for the Warhawks. I believe that was number 35 on the carry for Arrowhead, Brian Willman. Actually, it's number 28 for the Warhawks. That's Nick Bastine.
Bastine had some nice moves on that run. He juked a couple defenders and turned on the Jets on a nice angle run and picked up a nice first down for the Warhawks.
It was enough for a first down. Now 3 receivers set to the far side to the left this time, 1 to the right. Again, Duranso out of the shotgun. Handoff, Bastine this time left side across the 35. Trying to pick up a block from his offensive line, but driven down after about a 2-yard pickup. A nice rally to the football that time by the Hudson Raiders defense and their defensive line, and not much going there on first down for the Warhawks.
Well, defensively, you got to be aggressive. You got to be fast, aggressively converging on the ball. They're going to have to shoot the gaps, get a good pass rush going, and you're going to have to guard these wide receivers because there's some guys on this Arrowhead team, some receivers that can really go. They have some tall guys, and they can put yards up in a hurry.
A lot of spread formation here early in this drive. 3 receiver set once again to the left. Duranso again out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. Handoff again, Bastine left side. This time he's got makes a couple men miss behind the line of scrimmage and gets out for a nice little 5 or 6 yard pickup. Going to be close again to a first down. Going to be 3rd and it looks like about 1.5 yards here for a first down. Close to midfield at the 46-yard line for Arrowhead.
Looks like a host of Raiders in on that tackle, including Isaac Schindler, 5'9", 250-pound defensive lineman.
Again, Duranso, and looks like the offensive line moved a little early that time. And we are going to get a false start penalty, so what you're looking for if you're the Hudson Raiders defense, maybe some mental mistakes early by Arrowhead. A 5-yard penalty there that time pushes a 3rd and about 1.5 to a 3rd and about a 6.5.
A similar scenario to what Hudson did to themselves when they drove inside the red zone. You take a 3rd and short, and now it's you're looking at a 3rd and 7.
Back to their own 46-yard line. Receiver in motion, again a 3-receiver set to the left. Duranso out of the shotgun, looks left, going to fire the bubble screen out there. Across, good to the 45-yard line, but not going to be nearly enough for a first down. About a 3 or 4 yard pickup. Again, it's going to be 4th down, and we'll see what the Warhawks elect to do, and it looks like the punt team's going to come onto the field.
Well, they're still on their own still on their own side of the field.
Yep.
That is a big victory for the Hudson Raider defense, and due in large part to that mistake on the 3rd and short, the false start that Arrowhead had, but they were able to stop them on 3rd and 7, and looks like the Warhawks are going to punt it away.
Burgess back deep to receive for the Hudson Raiders on this punt. Looping line, taking it about the 12-yard line. He's going to return this. Burgess doesn't get much, maybe a yard on the return, but then he's pushed back, taken down by Arrowhead's number 34, Zachary Hastings. A nice tackle by him on the punt coverage team, and Hudson will take over at their own 11-yard line.
Want to say hello to Hillary Pulmacher Minnesale, and I'm sure I butchered that name. I said thanks for broadcasting. Aunt and godmother watching with their family down in Southwest Rochester, Florida. They're a Warhawks a Warhawks fan tuning in tonight. Thank you for joining us and emailing in.
Hudson Raider offense and quarterback Charlie Richards take over their own 11-yard line. 5:47 to go here in the first quarter. Richards again going to option out to the right. Going to keep it himself across the 15. Gets about to the 18-yard line. Tripped up there. A nice pickup on first down, and this Hudson Raider offense appears to be a very cohesive unit coming into the first game.
Well, they're playing with confidence, and that's key. The opening drive did wonders. You know, they're starting in very poor field position, coming off a nice coverage on the Warhawks on that punt. And, you know, Richards has shown us some moves here. Want to say a quick hello to Harry Esock. I know he's emailed in the past, hoping to see his grandson, Josh Fry, number 99, play tonight.
6-yard pickup on first down. Here's Richards under again. Again, the option game. He's out to the near side across the 30. A nice read by Charlie Richards. Once again, he kept it himself. And another big gain starting from their own 11-yard line, already out to their own 32-yard line after 2 plays. And another first down by this Raider offense. Down to about 5:03 here to go in the first quarter.
And Zach, confidence is starting to build on the sideline for the Hudson Raiders.
Demel, the lone man in the backfield, one receiver left and right, man in motion. Richards gives the jet sweep across the 35. Ball was lost, but I guess he was out of bounds before he lost the ball. That was Jagger Marvin on the carry on the fly sweep that time for the Raiders. Good for about a pickup of 3 or 4. And again, Hudson likes to use that man in motion before in the pre-snap to kind of get things moving on the defense. And it looks like they're a little confused on the defensive side of the ball for Arrowhead early on.
Well, and Hudson has this hurry-up offense, and it's predicated on causing your defense to be off base.
This time, handoff straight up the middle again. This time it's number 25, Nick Holm, getting the carry for the Raiders. He might have got 1 or 2, so 3rd down and 5, a big 3rd down and 5. 4.5 to go here in the first quarter, and Dayton Demel back into the game for the Raiders.
Nick Holmes, another one, a compliment to Dayton Demel, 6'1", 195-pound senior. They expect big things out of that young man this season as well.
3rd down and 5, receiver left and right. Wing back to the left, tight end to the right. Richards under center, takes the snap. He's going to roll right, looking to pass, in a little bit of trouble. And he's going to go down, and he does hang on to the football. Looked like it might have came loose for a second, but he does hang on. So sacked inside the 30-yard line down to the 29. It'll be 4th down and long, and I'm assuming Hudson will go ahead and punt away here.
Well, pretty big stand that time by the Arrowhead defense, pinning Hudson deep in their own territory, coming off a nice punt, and then really rising to the occasion there on that on this drive after a nice run by Richards early to get him out of that hole, but looks like they've stiffened and going to force the Raiders to punt it deep in their own territory here on a 4th and 13.
A 2 return man system, and this is interesting for me. Quarterback Johnny Mancuso back deep to receive the punt for the Arrowhead. There's the snap. Clean punt, got it away. Not a very high or deep punt. Crossed their own 45, and it's going to roll out of bounds at their own 48-yard line. So Arrowhead will start with the ball in plus territory at the Hudson 48-yard line, and that's where Johnny Duranso will take back over for the Arrowhead offense.
Well, it's up for the defense now. Arrowhead is into Hudson territory. You're coming off that really nice. It was all set up by that nice punt there, and then the defense stiffened. So they're going to start on the 49-yard line into Hudson territory for the first time. 3:22 here to go. Hudson got an early 7-0 lead on what's turned out to be a pretty decent evening here at Newton Field in Hudson, Wisconsin.
Again, Duranso out of the shotgun. 3 receivers to the far side to the left, 1 to the right, running back to his left. Duranso out of the shotgun, takes the snap, handoff up the middle. That's plunging through the Hudson defense again. That's Bastine, straight up the gut, across the 40, down to the 38-yard line, and an early first down here on this drive, as Arrowhead appears to be a little bit more prepared for this drive in plus territory.
Well, I like the look of that Nick Bastine, 5'8", 160-pound senior running back. He squares his shoulders well, good low center of gravity, nice run.
Again, trips receivers, this time to the near side to the right. Duranso out of the shotgun, handed off. Bastine up the middle, makes a man miss in the backfield, then driven back. Nice swarm to the ball once again by the Hudson defense. maybe a 1 or 2 yard pickup from Bastine that time, and 2nd down and 8 upcoming for the Warhawks.
Josh DeZiel, senior linebacker, coming up, plugging up the gap that time.
Kind of just hung on to his leg there that time and waited for the troops to finish him off. But like you said, a great rally to the football. Duranzo again out of the shotgun. 3 receivers near side once again. And this time they'll audible, looking to the sideline. They'll take some signals and readjust. Still trips to the right. Duranzo takes the snap, this time looking to fire. Fires to the left, far sideline. A little too far for his intended receiver, number 1, Justin Perrette. Receiver Perrette was open, but a little bit of a misfire from Duranzo. A little too far to the far side and couldn't quite connect. So 3rd down and 8 now for the Warhawks.
Perrette had about a 2-step separation kind of on that little turn in, and if the ball would have been there, it definitely would have been a Warhawks 1st down, but misfired.
And again, Warhawks, even on a incomplete pass or a not so much positive play, they look to the sideline rather quickly, just as Hudson does to get their next play. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the right. Running back Bastine to his right in the backfield. Handoff Bastine up the middle, got a hole, crossed the 35, but not enough for a 1st down to the 33-yard line of the Hudson Raiders. And this will be a key 4th down. We'll see what the Warhawks do.
Well, I would say at this juncture, at this position of the field, they'll probably go for it. This is huge. Probably the biggest play, in my opinion, of the first half, at least defensively for the Hudson Raiders.
Inside of 2 minutes now to go in the 1st quarter. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Twins receivers to both sides. Running back Bastine to Duranzo's right. Again out of the shotgun. A little bit of movement from the Hudson defensive line, but thankfully got back on the other side of the ball before the ball was snapped. Warhawks readjust. Bastine moves to the left. And now Duranzo takes the snap, looking to fire once again, looks to the left, now looking over the middle. Here comes the defense, and they'll bring him down for a sack on 4th down. It'll be a turnover on downs. Johnny Duranzo taken down in the backfield by number 34, Josh DeZiel, among others for the Hudson Raiders, and a big 4th down stop.
Huge 4th down stop for the Raiders. Xander Motu, 6'2", 225, senior linebacker, also in on that. And as the Raiders stop the Warhawks on 4th, Matt Wong and Alden White emailing in saying, never say never, keep rolling Raiders. And I remember those names from a while back, and 4 years of covering the Hudson Raiders here, and great to hear from former players and former students tuning in, cheering on their Raiders.
Raiders take over at their own 42. Richards out of the shotgun, he'll option pitch left. And taken down in the backfield, a nice open field tackle by Arrowhead's number 3, Teddy Orlando, a tackle of Jagger Marvin for about a 2-yard loss. So a positive momentum on that big 4th down stop, a little bit negated on a negative play to begin this drive for Hudson, 2nd down and 12.
Tremendous tackle by Orlando that time. He was able to fight off a block and had an open field solo tackle.
2 receivers to the right. Richards out of the shotgun, takes the snap, going to option out to the right once again. Taken there across the 40 and back to about the original line of scrimmage. And it looked like it was number 40, Dominic Sidumbeko for the Hudson Raiders on the carry that time. So 3rd down and 10 after that big 4th down stop. We'll see if they can convert on 3rd and long. You'd think they're going to go to the air here.
Well, that's conventional thinking would indicate that, and that gets down to the passing attack that Hudson has, and they might end up letting this. Well, I think they do have to get the play off, as we are now under 20 seconds to go in the 1st quarter. Be the last play of the quarter.
Richards out of the shotgun. Twins receivers to left and right. Man in motion. That's Marvin to the left. Richards in trouble, going to sling it out to his left across the 45, making a man miss across the 50, far near sideline, and that's going to be enough for a 1st down. A Hudson Raider 1st down, pass complete from Richards to number 20, Steven Trapiccio. We've seen him get the ball a couple times on the option pitch. That time they throw the bubble screen out to him. He makes a man miss, and they get the 1st down.
I love the play call that time on 3rd and long for the Hudson Raiders, Trapiccio, and there's another senior they're looking for good things out of. And 1st down Raiders, and I'll tell you what, if you were going to tell me, 23 minutes ago, we'd be sitting out of the 7-0 lead and having the ball inside in Heartland territory, you know, I'd be pretty happy, and I am pretty happy as a Hudson Raider fan. A tremendous first quarter by the Hudson Raiders.
Clock runs down, so we'll reset for the second quarter. This time, obviously, teams will switch sides in terms of directions they're moving in, but Hudson will have the ball inside Warhawk territory. As you mentioned, with that 7-0 lead, and again moving the football, a big fourth down stop, a couple of big conversions on 3rd and long, especially on the first drive when they kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit with the holding penalty. They come back, get the first down, score on the next play, and now another big 3rd down conversion. You got to think these Warhawks might be getting in their heads a little bit.
Well, I couldn't agree more. And you know, if you're Hudson, you just got to keep the momentum up. You got to keep it up because this Heartland Arrowhead team's a real thing. Ranked number 2 in the state, three consecutive years to the state championship game. WisconsinSports.net did an analytical look at the top football programs in the state using a number of variables in the last 10 years. All divisions. The number 1 team, the Heartland Arrowhead Warhawks.
Again on the Arrowhead 45-yard line, Richards under center, handoff Marvin left side on the fly sweep. Once again, we saw that work earlier once or twice on that initial drive, but this time taken down on the far sideline after only about a 2-yard pickup, maybe 1. So 2nd down and 9 for the Raiders as we just begin the second quarter here in Hudson.
Again, the Hudson Raiders quick to the line as Elliot Motu emails in. He says that Motu kid looks pretty big, and that's Elliot Motu. Looks like he's at Iowa State. I remember Elliot from years past.
Richards under center, wing T formation in the backfield. 1 receiver left and right. This time another option keeper. This time Richards backed up in the backfield met by 2 or 3 Warhawk defenders. A loss of about 1 on the play, so 3rd down and long again for the Hudson Raiders, and we'll see if once again they can come up big with a 3rd down conversion.
Looks like the Warhawks' Elias Audley came up from his linebacker spot, had a nice stop that time.
3rd down and 9 from the Warhawk 44-yard line. Richards this time out of the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 1 left, now receiver in motion. Richards takes the snap, looks right, they'll fire out another bubble. Marvin drops it on the bubble. It's going to be an incomplete pass. Warhawk defense thought it was a fumble. Could have been ruled either way, in my opinion. It looked like it might have been possibly a pass behind the line of scrimmage, but ref says incomplete pass, so 4th down upcoming for the Raiders.
And if Jagger Marvin could have pulled that in, I think he gets the first down.
There's a lot of green in front of him.
There was a lot of green in front of him, and you know, the pass was there too. That is a tough drop by the junior. I believe he's related, I'm guessing, to Braden Marvin, who had a fine career here for the Raiders in years past. And tough break for the Raiders. I love the play call. I think they could have converted the 3rd and long like they did in the previous drive.
Punt formation, 4th down on the Warhawk 44-yard line. 10:47 to go here in the first half. High punt, not very far, end over end, taken at the 20, and a fair catch called for at the 20-yard line by Warhawk quarterback number 12, Johnny Duranzo. Kind of unconventional. You don't see that every game where your starting quarterback is back returning punts for you.
Well, you know, if you have a great athlete on your team, you know, that's fast and smart and aggressive, you want to feature him in as many different ways as you can. Now, that being said, you'd never see that in Division I college or the NFL, but at the high school level, yeah, absolutely.
So as good as a touchback for the Warhawks. They'll start at their own 20-yard line, 10:40 to go here in the second quarter. Duranzo, again, the man out of the shotgun this time. Twins receivers to the left, twins receivers to the right. Running back Bastine in the backfield to Duranzo's right. Takes the shotgun snap, fake handoff, Bastine. They'll kick it out quickly to the left side, near side, across the 20 and close to the 25-yard line on the bubble screen. Pass complete to number 18, Tyler Jones, the 6'1", 175-pound senior. And a decent gain there on first down for the Warhawks, 2nd down and 5.
Christian Bell also on the hit that time for the Raiders.
Duranzo, again, 2 receivers left, 2 receivers to the right, a little bit of a bunch to the left. Again, Bastine to his right. Duranzo on the straight keep this time, right up the middle, close to the 30-yard line, and going to be close to a Warhawk first down. So a straight quarterback keeper that time out of the shotgun might get them a first down. It looks like they're going to mark him just shy at 3rd and short.
Now, Now one referee is saying it is a first down, and they are moving.
Now
the
they
chains.
are going to move the chains.
I like the philosophy there of the Warhawks, you know, and you're seeing that more and more in the NFL and also at the college level. Spread it out, you know, go with the multi-receiver set with a bunch or even an open backfield or a single back, and then have the quarterback option up the middle with the defense spread out. Did it well, converted the first down.
And I mean, it wasn't even an option. He just took it and ran straight up
Right.
the middle, and the running back was going to be his lead blocker the whole way. Again, 2 receivers each side. Bastine to his right. Duranzo this time going to give, and he's going to be stopped again behind the line of scrimmage. Actually, that's not Bastine. That's going to be number 21, Spencer Papandrea for the Warhawks. Backed up, a 2-yard loss, and a nice takedown in the backfield by that Hudson defense.
Particularly Malcolm Kavaloski, 6'2", 200-pound junior. Now that's a football name, Kavaloski. I like that. He was good hard hit that time. Shot through the line and had a nice tackle.
And this time, Warhawks going to go 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. So trips to the right, 1 receiver left, and Papandrea to Duranzo's left in the backfield. Duranzo takes the shotgun snap, gives the handoff up the middle. Nice running room this time across the 35, and taken down by Hudson's number 3, Joe Geisler. A gain of about 8 on the play for the Warhawks. So 3rd down and short now as we approach 8:40 to go here in the second quarter.
You know, if you're the Warhawks with 3rd and short, you know, do you just bang kind of a smash mouth play between the tackles? They've been getting pretty consistent yardage on the ground here recently. Or do you do a play action? You know, they got a, 1, 2.
Well, they're going to go 5 receiver
a 5
set.
receiver set.
Empty backfield. Duranzo all by himself. No tight ends. 4 receivers to the right on the far side. 1 to the left. He's going to take the shotgun snap, go right up the middle, and it looks like he's going to have enough for the Warhawk first down. Indeed, he does across the 42-yard line, and they'll move the sticks once again. So Warhawks progressively getting better on offense as we go. Well,
and you can see what they're doing, and I spoke to that earlier. Multi-receiver set, 4, sometimes 5 receivers, a shotgun and an open backfield. It spreads the defense out, potentially opening up the middle. First down, Warhawks.
This time, Papandrea back into the backfield to Duranzo's left. 3 receivers to the far side. Single receiver on the near side. Handoff, Papandrea right side. Got some room. Across the 45, now across midfield. Driven down by Hudson's number 9, Devin Dalton on the play. But again, another big gain on first down and close to another first down for the Arrowhead Warhawks.
Also want to say hello to Brian Mackley. Said his name's Brian Mackley. He was a Bleacher Creature captain last year, and he's with 2 ex-football players, Braden Marvin and Henrik Weismeyer. I remember both of those guys are listening in from Ames, Iowa. I'm assuming going to school down there. Proud of the Raiders, and good luck. I want to give a shout-out to all 3 of their moms who are listening in, and probably excited about this early Raider lead tonight.
Twins receivers both sides. Duranzo out of the shotgun. This time handoff once again up the middle, but this time stopped on the 2nd down, so it'll be 3rd down and short coming up for the Warhawks. I didn't quite see who got the handoff that time for Arrowhead, and it was actually number 14, Carson Myers was the man who got the carry that time. So, but a nice defensive play again, and another 3rd down for the Warhawks.
You know, I'm looking across the field, Zach. You know, with the Warhawks sidelines, and I'm just not seeing any energy over there. You know, I think they are kind of a little bit in shock right now, quite frankly, and they need to get back into the game here.
So 3rd down, 2nd time the Warhawks have crossed midfield tonight. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the right. Handoff, actually fake handoff, cross, pass over the middle, incomplete. Intended for his tight end, number 88, Royce Coots, who's listed as a wide receiver, but he lined up as a tight end that time. And he dropped the pass over the middle. So 4th down now, and it looks like the Warhawks will be forced to punt yet again.
I think Royce Coots was hearing footsteps in the form of several Raider defensive backs closing in on him. If he was able to pull that down, he would have took a heck of a lick. And mentally then, you know, you're real jittery. You're real rigid. Drop the pass.
It was a nice play call on their part, though. I mean, he was open. He hit him right in the chest, and Coots just couldn't bring it in. Nevertheless, 4th down, and a little bit of an errant snap, but he does get the punt away inside the 15, calling for the fair catch at about the 15-yard line is Burgess for the Hudson Raiders. Andres Burgess takes it there, and that's where the Raiders will start here with 6:58 to go in the first half and a 7-0 lead. They take the ball on their own 16-yard line.
And if you're a Hudson Raider fan and you are just tuning in, yes, you are reading that scoreboard right. We are in the 2nd period, 7 minutes to go, 6:58 to be exact, and the Hudson Raiders holding a 7-0 lead. They have the ball fairly deep in their own territory. They are going toe-to-toe with the number 2 ranked Heartland Arrowhead Warhawks here at Newton Field tonight.
Richards out of the shotgun, 3 backs in the backfield, 2 receivers near side. Richards takes the snap with some pre-snap motion, up the middle, handoff across the 20, good to the 22-yard line. That's number 25, Nick Holm. We've heard his name called a couple times. And he gets out for a nice little 6 or 7 yard pickup on first down, and second and manageable again for Hudson.
Well, Holman Diemel out of that Hudson backfield, and you got to give props to this Hudson offensive line. They're the ones that's opening up the holes.
Now Richards again fakes the handoff to Holm, pitch out to Burgess, and kind of left him out to dry that time. A man flying up from the defensive secondary, number 42, Antonio Jose Ramos, with a big hit on Burgess. Burgess, I think, a little bit lucky to just hang on to that one.
I guess Antonio Jose Ramos, if he would have hit me like that, it would have taken half an hour to get up.
3-yard loss on the play, so 3rd down and 7 upcoming for the Raiders. We'll see what they draw up to try to come up with this 3rd down from their own 19-yard line. Richards out of the shotgun, 2 running backs in the backfield, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, man in motion. Richards back to pass, fires it out, near sideline, caught at the 15, across the 20 and across the 22, and he's pushed out by Arrowhead's number 7, Noah Harvey. That was Hudson's Steven Trapiccio again on the reception. Not much doing there that time for the Hudson Raiders, and it'll be 4th down. So 3 and out go the Raiders.
And Zach, they're featuring Trapiccio on kind of these swing passes out of the backfield tonight. I think that's probably the 3rd time they've ran that. They had better success in the previous plays, but the Raiders are going to end up having to punt it away. As we get ready for the punt, I want to say hello to Scott Rubin. Scott Rubin and his dad Bill watching tonight from North Hudson, saying go Raiders.
Bastine and Duranzo back to receive for Arrowhead. Polig on the punt. Clean snap, gets the punt away. Low line kick. It's going to bounce near midfield and across midfield, and it's going to stop at the Arrowhead 49-yard line. That's where Jagger Marvin will down it for the Hudson Raiders, and that's where the Warhawks will take over near midfield, this time with 5:43 to go, and we'll see if the Warhawks can get something going on this drive.
Defensively, a nice set of plays by the Warhawk defense. You know, they were had Hudson backed up deep into their own territory, knew if they could stop and they get pretty good field position. A decent punt by Hudson to move it out to the 9-yard line there, and kept the Warhawks in their own territory just barely. But that potentially, you know, you have a misstep down there, a block punt or even a shank, you're giving this Warhawks team an excellent field position.
Also something to keep in mind, both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining. Duranzo, 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Actually, this isn't Duranzo in at quarterback. They fire out to the left. Pass is complete down to the Hudson 40-yard line. That's number 1, Justin Perrette. But in at quarterback is Jack Risch, the 6'3", 184-pound senior for Arrowhead. So a quarterback change right here in middle of the second quarter. Not sure what that's all about. Duranzo obviously not injured. He was in on the last play on the punt return. So we'll see if they continue. As I said, that's Jack Risch in there at quarterback. He's out of the shotgun. Again, 2 receivers set on each side. This time, Bastine up the middle. Big hole across the 35-30. Now he makes a man miss, but he's tripped up inside the 30-yard line and down across the 25 to the 24. A first down for the Warhawks. A nice play up the middle, but could have had him bottled up in the backfield.
And the Warhawks are coming at the Raiders with both barrels right now. Hurry up offense, multi-receiver set. They got something rolling here. The Hudson defense is going to have to stiffen up as they approach the red zone.
Again, handoff Bastine, but this time swarmed in the backfield, pushed back across the to the 27-yard line. That was Bastine on the carry, but in for Hudson, number 94, that's Zami Schwarz, the first man to meet Bastine in the backfield.
Want to say hello to Parker. Says the Raiders are doing well on the offensive side of the ball. So Parker, thank you for tuning in, emailing in.
Second down and long, 2nd and 12 with Jack Risch, the 6'3", 184-pound senior in at quarterback. A change from Johnny Duranzo for the Warhawks. 2 receivers each side. This time Risch back to pass, looking left. Hit as he threw, nearly intercepted over the middle. The man who almost came up with the interception was Xander Motu for the Raiders, but Risch hit as he threw. That forced an errant pass, and now it'll force a 3rd and long for the Warhawks.
Joe Geisler coming in from his linebacker spot, 6'3", 195-pound senior. He was within a step of a sack, and really forced the pass to be hurried, and almost picked off, like you said, Zach.
Again, 2 receivers set on each side. Bastine to Rich's left. Again, Jack Rich in at quarterback for Arrowhead. Out of the shotgun once again, back to pass. This time looks right. He's going to fire that way. Pass is complete, but short of the first down. Down to the 15-ish yard line, maybe the 16-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and about 2.5 yards to go for the Warhawks. And it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field. Yep. They're going to go for it. 4:20 and counting here to go in the first half.
Huge play as the bleacher creatures are up in arms on the Hudson side.
4th down and 3. Warhawks look back to the sideline. Going to switch plays here. From the 16-yard line. Need to get to the 13 for a first down. Bastine switches side. He's back to Rich's left. 2 receivers to each side. Rich going to look left. They fire out the bubble screen. Swung down at about the 15-yard line, and he's not going to get the first down.
All depends on the spot.
Warhawks think they have it. Hudson Raiders defense think they stopped him just short. And it is going to be a turnover on downs. The Hudson Raiders stop them on a 4th down and 3. The Warhawks can't get the first down. So 3:53 to go, and another big 4th down stop for the Hudson Raiders.
Well, that's probably the most impressive offensive possession that the Warhawks have had tonight. Drove inside the red zone, kind of rolled the dice, went for it on 4th and short, and they missed it by a few inches. It came down to the spot, but I think that was the correct spot. The Hudson defense bent but didn't break. Still pitching the shutout, holding that 7-0 lead here in the second.
And again, with 3:53 to go, the Hudson Raiders take over at their own 16-yard line. They have all 3 timeouts, so clock not an issue here with moving the ball. Richards will go back under center. 1 receiver left, 1 right, wing T formation. Handoff, Demo up the middle, crosses the 17, maybe gets to the 18, and he's driven down by the collective unit of the Warhawk defense. First man to meet him was number 99, Mitchell Bergs. He made the initial hit, and the rest of the defense followed after about a 3-yard gain. So 2nd and 7, maybe 8 from their own 19-yard line go the Raiders.
Jake Powell for the Warhawks also in on that tackle.
2 receivers to the left on the far side this time. Again, that wing T formation with Richards under center. He'll take the snap, fakes the handoff off the middle. He'll take it himself, gets across the 20, but not much more. Maybe a gain of 1 for Charlie Richards. As we approach 3 minutes to go here in the first half, it'll be a 3rd down and about 6 yards to go, and we'll see what the Raiders can do here on 3rd down.
You know, do you go to the pass, or do you do something tricky here this deep in your own territory? You do have 3rd and 6.
1 receiver on each side, wing T formation. Richards under center, fakes the handoff. Now he's going to roll back. The screen pass. Demo was open, but a man was approaching, so Demo drops the pass. Approaching for the Warhawk defense, number 42, Antonio Jose Ramos once again. He's been all over the place on that Warhawk defense. And once again, the Raiders cannot convert on 3rd down. It'll be 4th down and 6. 2:44 to go here in the first half, and the punt team comes on once again.
And if Demo would have been able to bring that down, I'm not sure he could have pulled the first down out of it. I guess we're not going to know, but Hudson having to punt again, fairly deep in their own territory. 2:44 to go.
And again, starting quarterback Duranzo for Arrowhead back to receive the punt. Same with Bastine, and Polig once again on the punt for the Raiders. Again, a low liner taken near 49, 50, 45, 40. Driven down from a big hit from the Hudson return team there. Number 25 for the Raiders, Nick Holm, with the big hit on the return, but a decent return for the Warhawks, their first return of the evening across the Hudson 40-yard line, and they'll take over 1st and 10 from the Hudson 39 with 2:34 to go in the first half.
Well, the Warhawks looking to try to tie this up going into half. They have their full complement of 3 timeouts, down 7-0. This Hudson defense has played outstanding in this first half. This is a high-powered, very good Heartland Arrowhead football team, particularly offensively. You know, what they've been able to do in the state of Wisconsin here the last 15 years, I can't talk enough about it. You know, 3 straight trips to the state championship game, the #1 ranking, but the Hudson Raiders are going toe-to-toe with them tonight.
And again, Duranzo back in at quarterback, crosses the 35, pass complete to, again, Justin Perrette. He's been the leading receiver so far for the Warhawks across the 30-yard line, close to a first down. 2nd down and 1. As I said, Duranzo back into the game at quarterback for the Warhawks. 2nd and 1, inside 2.5 to go with all 3 timeouts remaining for both teams.
Well, I think it's imperative for Hudson defensively just to hold them, to keep that momentum going. Arrowhead is starting to get into an offensive groove. They're starting to move the ball.
From the 31-yard line, Duranzo out of the shotgun. Fakes the handoff. He'll take it himself across the 30. Makes another man miss near side down to close to the 25-yard line. It's going to be enough for a first down. We'll see by just how much. And they're going to mark him at the 26-yard line. So down inside 2:20 to go as he was pushed out of bounds. A first down for the Warhawks. And they are moving after they started at the Hudson Raider 39-yard line, already down to the 26.
And this is the Heartland offense that I remember from those 2012-2013 semifinal games. They just come at you with both barrels, multi-receiver sets, a lot of movement, very fast, and they can really go when they get in the groove.
Duranzo out of the shotgun again. Handoff up the middle, this time Papandrea pushing his way, pushing the pile inside the 20-yard line. Again, that's number 21, Spencer Papandrea on the carry for the Warhawks inside the 20-yard line, down to about the 19, and a nice little 5-yard pickup on first down as we approach 2 minutes to go here in the first half.
Papandrea carried 3 players, at least 2 yards, if not 3. He kept those legs pumping. Boy, he got something out of nothing there.
And rotating backs fairly quickly again are the Warhawks. Carson Myers in now at tailback. Again, 2 receivers left and right. Duranzo in at quarterback. 1:40 to go here in the first half. Takes the snap out of the shotgun, looks right, fires over the middle, caught inside 10, 5, and touchdown for the Warhawks. Number 80, Andy Miller, connecting with quarterback Johnny Duranzo, and the Warhawks are on the board with 1:34 to go. It's now Hudson Raiders 7, Arrowhead Warhawks 6, with the extra point pending.
Well, they knocked on the door on the previous offensive possession, and you could sense that offense was starting to click. And the Hudson defense kind of had the bend but not break philosophy, stopped them deep in their own territory on 4th and short in the previous possession, but had to punt it away. This time the Warhawks strike pay dirt.
A nice pass from Duranzo to Andy Miller. Extra point team set. Here's the snap. Spot is down, kick is up, and it is good. So we have ourselves a tie ball game. Hudson Raiders 7, Arrowhead Warhawks 7, 1:34 to go here in Hudson in the first half. Both teams with 3 timeouts remaining. And for the second time tonight, the Arrowhead Warhawks will kick off to the Hudson Raiders.
Well, the sleeping bear has been awoken, I guess, on these last 2 drives by the Warhawks, but it is still a tie ball game. Minute 34 to go. The question then is, I'm sure it'll also depend on the return. If you're Hudson, you have 3 timeouts. Do you roll the dice and try to get something going,
Yep.
or do you just kind of run out the clock and go into halftime saying, listen, we're tied up with the top Division I team in the state. Let's be happy with that, or do you come right back at them? Good-looking drive that time by the Warhawks.
And not necessarily, Arrowhead might not necessarily be willing to let Hudson just take 3 knees here and be done with it, because
right,
they have
the
3
3
timeouts remaining themselves, so they might want to get the ball back themselves. Number 23, John Mack, going to do the kickoff duties here for Arrowhead, this time right to left. Again, Burgess, the deep man, back to receive for the Hudson Raiders. 1:34 to go here in the first half. Here's Mack's kickoff, a deep kick.
Wow.
Well into the end zone. Burgess going to take it there, and he'll take a knee. Well, he won't have to. High school rules. Ball's taken in the end zone, automatic touchback. So the Raiders will start it at their own 20-yard line. 1:34 to go. All 3 timeouts remaining for both teams in a 7-7 ball game.
Well, football's a game of momentum swings and shifts. Hudson had it early through that first quarter, probably through the early part of the second quarter. But since then, the Warhawks offensively have gotten the ball moving. They drove deep down earlier. Hudson stopped them on 4th and short, stopped them by less than a half a yard, punted it, went 3 and out, punted it away. The second time the Hudson Warhawks drove inside the red zone, they struck pay dirt. We've got ourselves a good football game here. And if you're a Hudson Raider fan, again, you're pretty happy right now.
Wing T formation with Richards under center. Once again, 1 receiver to each side. Richards takes the snap. Here's Jagger Marvin again on the fly sweep play out across the 25, maybe to the 26-yard line. A good little first down pickup. So second down and short. 1:20 now to go here in the first half. Hudson not moving that quickly, so maybe not in that much of a hurry to try to get a score here, but trying to run this clock down.
Want to say hello to Miles Jensen, a former Hudson Raider player, emailing in, tuning into the game tonight.
Richards going under center, waiting for that play clock to go all the way down before taking the snap. Now he'll take the option pitch. Now he'll finally pitch it out. Marvin, far sideline across the 40 to the 45, pushed out of bounds there. So a big play on second down for Hudson. Another nice option play. Pushed out of bounds with 52.8 seconds to go. Now approaching midfield. You got to wonder if they start to get a little bit more aggressive.
Well, and then you start to wonder, it comes down to a clock management thing. You got the full timeouts. Of course, also in high school football, the clock does stop at the movement of the chains and when you convert the first down.
So Richards again out of the shotgun, this time back to pass. Looking left, got in a little bit of a trouble. Now he's going to run 45 across midfield. Now he runs himself out of bounds before he gets hit at the Warhawk 48-yard line. So a nice pickup there. Picked up the first down. At 37.2 to go. Actually didn't get, yes he did. He got the first down. 37.2 to go. All 3 timeouts remaining for the Raiders as they're now in Warhawk territory at the 48-yard line. Burgess.
I like the aggressive philosophy here of the Hudson Raiders. I thought they'd just probably take a knee and go into the halftime tide. I was wrong.
Burgess off the field for the Raiders. 2 running backs in the backfield. Again, Richards back to pass. Now he'll roll to the right looking for a receiver. He's got one open across the 35, down to the 30. Didn't get out of bounds. They do have 3 timeouts. We'll see if they'll use one. That's number 25, Nick Holm, on the reception again for the Raiders. So the clock does stop for the first down, obviously, but they're not going to take a timeout. And now they will elect to take a timeout.
You're going to have to. You're going to have to.
So 28.9 seconds to go. 31-yard line of the Arrowhead Warhawks are the Hudson Raiders. They use their first timeout, so they have 2 remaining in a 7-7 ball game.
Well, Nick Holm really made a beautiful catch and a very nice run, but he made a poor decision at the end. The goal at that point was to get out of bounds because, you know, what the extra 2 or 3 yards you may have gained by trying to stay in bounds and do a juke move, you're giving up in clock because it's all about clock right now. 28 seconds, still a nice catch nonetheless. Hudson does have to burn a timeout. They got 2 more to go. They're in a pretty good position here. Got a nice drive going.
And Richards, the first-year man at starting quarterback for the Hudson Raiders, looks pretty darn good tonight. He's 4 for 4. Everything he's thrown has been a tight spiral. He's been on target all night. And another nice pitch and catch there from Richards to Holm.
He really has, and that was one of the question marks. You know, John, you could tell the senior graduated, and that opened up the starting quarterback position. And Richards has shown me great things here in this first half.
So from the 31-yard line of the Warhawks, 28.9 seconds to go in the first half. 1 receiver left, 1 receiver right for the Hudson Raiders. Wing T formation, tight end. And now Richards takes the snap. They'll hand it to Burgess. He thought about throwing, but now he's inside the 25-20 and taken out of bounds. It looks like they are going to mark him out of bounds, close to the 20-yard line. So that pitch play to Burgess looked like it was a design pass play, but he decided to run it and does pick up decent yardage. A first down for Hudson at the 20-yard line.
I think that was designed as a halfback option pass. Good decision by Burgess that time to tuck it in and gain some nice yards.
Clock stopped with Burgess going out of bounds. 23 seconds to go. Richards under center. The handoff. Demel up the middle, across the 10, across the 5, inside the 5, and another first down. Clock will stop for the first down, and we'd have to assume they'll take another timeout. No, they're not.
No,
they're hurrying up to the line. They had another play chosen in the huddle here. Richards going to be under center. Clock moving. And now Arrowhead going to take a timeout themselves. Arrowhead Warhawks on defense take a timeout. 17.8 seconds to go here in the first half. Hudson Raiders, who started with the ball at their own 20-yard line, have moved it a good 60 yards in the first 40 seconds that they've had the ball, and now they're on the doorstep once again.
Well, I thought, quite frankly, that Hudson was, the momentum had swung completely to Heartland's way. They had 2 excellent offensive possessions. I thought Hudson, quite frankly, would, just try to run the clock out, be content to go into halftime with the tie ball game, but that's reason number 350 why I'm not the coach and I'm sitting up here, because they went the complete opposite way, and it's working. They're inside the red zone, knocking on the door. Momentum has swung back to Hudson's way. I love how they've responded to that Warhawk touchdown here, and whether they come out with this with points or not, hey, I like the mentality here. Hudson is not showing any kind of intimidation to this powerful Warhawk team here on Newton Field, and now they're knocking on the door again.
With a couple of timeouts to play with, Hudson basically has all the options in the playbook to do whatever they want here inside of 18 seconds to go in the first half. First down and goal from the 5-yard line. Richards is going to go under center. One receiver left, one receiver right. He'll hand off Demo up the middle, going to be close to the goal line, and they're going to say he's in for the touchdown. Dayton Demo in for a rushing touchdown for the Hudson Raiders, and with 14 seconds to go in the first half, the Raiders retake the lead 13-7.
That was absolutely huge. Very good clock management, very good play calling on the part of the Hudson Raiders. The Warhawks had just tied this ball game up, and the Raiders came right back down the field with not a whole lot of time left. Only had to use one timeout, and they're an extra point away from taking a touchdown lead.
Bell in to kick the extra point for the Raiders. Richards the hold. Kick is up, and that one's actually blocked. So the extra point blocked. They do score the touchdown, so mark the touchdown down. Dayton Demo from 5 yards out plunges in for the touchdown to give the Raiders a 13-7 lead with 14.1 seconds to go. Again, the extra point, Christian Bell's extra point is blocked, and we have 14 seconds remaining. Warhawks do have 2 timeouts left. You'd imagine they just sit on the ball once they do get it here.
Well, of course, they only got 14 seconds left, but I thought that with that's what Hudson would do too, so who knows?
And it looked like early on in that drive, 1:37 to go, you do have the 3 timeouts. They looked fairly conservative on the first couple play calls,
yep.
But Marvin busts the one across the far sideline for about 15 or 20 yards, and then all of a sudden you're in business at midfield. Why not go for it? We got 3 timeouts. So they do score. It's 13-7 Hudson on top of the Arrowhead Warhawks.
And on that run, Jager Marvin, it really reminded me of his brother, quite frankly, Braden Marvin. And on that run, just his style and going down the sidelines there. And, Braden Marvin had a real nice career here and had pleasure of watching him fire off several very nice runs.
Arrowhead Warhawks return team looks like they're ready for a possible squib kick here. Deep man all the way up to the 15-yard line. And we'll see what Hudson does on the kickoff. Kicking off from left to right will be Parker Polig. And now the return team does shift back deep. So number 1, Perrette, and number 42, Jose Ramos, back deep to receive at their own 5-yard line for the Warhawks. With 14 seconds to go, here's Polig's kickoff from his own 40-yard line. They do squib it, taken at the 25, across the 30, close to the 35, and going to be swarmed down at about the 40-yard line by that kickoff return team of the Hudson Raiders. Number 88 for Arrowhead, Royce Coots, the man who dropped the 4th down play, or the 3rd down and long play earlier on the return back to the 40-yard line. 8 seconds to go here in the first half. Like we said, conventional wisdom would tell you that Arrowhead's going to knee this one down, but you never know. It is high school football. 13-7 lead for the Hudson Raiders as we await the Warhawk offense to come out onto the field. And we'll see Kirsch back in at quarterback for the Warhawks for this possibly one play. Not Kirsch, Jack Risch back in at quarterback. And they do go empty set here. Yep. 3 receivers far side, 2 receivers near side. A couple of safeties about 20 yards beyond the line of scrimmage for the Hudson Raiders. So they are prepared for a deep pass here. Risch back to pass, fires right side, caught at the 46, pushed out of bounds near midfield. So they do have a couple of seconds to play with yet. Across midfield with 3.3 seconds to go. Risch's pass complete to number 2, Jake Hauer, his first reception of the night. And 3.3 to go. Again, the Hudson Raiders safeties back at about the 22 or 23 yard, their own 22 or 23 yard line. The ball, of course, at midfield. Risch with a 4 receiver set to the far side and single receiver to the near side.
You want to talk about a bunch. Wow.
Risch back to pass, looking to that far side. He's going to heave it deep. Ball's up in the air near the 10-yard line. He had a man. Man got behind the Hudson Raider defense, but the ball just a little underthrown. Bounces at the 5. Incomplete. That is the final play of the first half. Risch's pass incomplete. So we head to halftime. An upset in the making.
Wow.
The Hudson Raiders 13, the Arrowhead Warhawks 7. You're listening to high school football on MSBN. The Arrowhead Warhawks coming into the second half. This is Hudson's first game of the season. They are 0-0. Like you said, they'll face Superior next week at home, 7 o'clock kickoff on that one. Arrowhead coming in with a 1-0 record, and obviously defending Division I state runner-ups here in the state of Wisconsin. So a big game, a big second half to kick off the year for the Hudson Raiders, and they will kick off the second half. They will kick off left to right. Parker Polig will again do the honors, and I would imagine that Antonio Jose Ramos and Justin Perrette will both be back deep again to receive for the Warhawks.
Want to say hello to Josh Nelson, former player, former Hudson Raider from last year, watching from Bemidji, Minnesota tonight. I do remember Josh Nelson quite well. Chippewa Falls really laying the wood to Medford Red Raiders, 42-0 at halftime. You know, I think based on some non-conference scores and some different things people have told me, whatnot, that the Big Rivers Conference is going to be very strong this year. Menominee's very strong as usual. Hudson's showing me a lot of great things tonight. Superior defending champions. We did an Eau Claire Memorial game last night, and they blew out a La Crosse Central team. They look very good. It's going to be an interesting conference race.
Polig set to kick off to start this second half. 13-7 lead for the Raiders. He's going to kick left to right. As I said, Jose Ramos and Perrette back deep. End-over-end kick going to be taken at about the 8-yard line. That's Jose Ramos out to the 15-20. A little bit of a hole at the 25, and now drags a couple of people across the 30 and down at the 33-yard line. And the ball's taken away. They're going to say it's a live ball. Taken away by the Hudson Raiders. Wow. And that's a turnover. Jose Ramos was never taken to the ground. Nick Holmes somehow comes away with the football for the Raiders, and they take over.
What a way to start the second half. And I thought they had his forward progress stopped, but the whistle never blew. The knee never went down as he was muscling and twisting, trying to gain an extra few yards.
Wow.
Nick Holm came in there, stripped the ball away, and boy, what a gift. Christmas comes early this year in Hudson. They have the ball inside the 30, 13-7
wow.
Raiders.
With the ball at the Warhawks' 27-yard line. Richards under center, receiver left and right, wing T. He'll go handoff, this time across to the right, across the 25, close to the 20-yard line, and now driven back. The first man in on the tackle for the Warhawks, number 7, Noah Harvey. That's Trapiccio again on the sweep handoff for the Raiders. So a gain of about 5 down to the 21-yard line for the Raiders, 2nd down and 5.
And the crowd here on the Hudson side just erupted and as Holmes stripped the ball, and you could see the sidelines. The energy is just an 11 out of 10 on the Hudson sideline right now.
This time offset tight end to the left. This time handoff up the middle, taken down inside the 20, close to the 18-yard line. That's Diemel again on the carry. Quite a few carries for Diemel so far. That 5-yard touchdown to end the first, well, almost the end of the first half for the Raiders to put them on top, 13-7. Doesn't quite get the first down. 3rd down and 1 with Richards under center once again. 3 backs in the backfield. Split out receiver to the left, tight end to the right, and we have a flag.
That's going to hurt. I think it's offsides on Hudson. False start.
Yep. Illegal motion on the Raiders, so they'll move back 5 yards. Had about a 3rd and 1, so a pretty decent opportunity to convert on 3rd and 1. They'll move back 3rd and 6, back to the 23-yard line.
And Zach, that's between the two teams. That's the 4th time that's happened tonight, where a team has had third and short, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and had a false start and backed it up and caused it to be 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7.
So this will force the Raiders to go for it on 3rd and 6. Richards now out of the shotgun, and now a timeout taken. So a little bit of confusion early on after that nice play on the kickoff return team for the Hudson Raiders, converging on the football, taking it away. Holm comes away with the fumble return, and now they get a 3rd down and short penalty. A little bit of confusion on the 3rd down and long play, so they got to take a timeout.
I like the timeout because obviously there was some kind of a problem there on the previous play, and you're looking to strike pay dirt here. You're thinking you got the turnover deep inside Arrowhead territory. You want to capitalize on this. You hold the lead, but this is a slim lead to say the least against this powerful Arrowhead team. While we're waiting for the timeout, I want to read a message from the Hudson Benchwarmers. That's the booster club here in town. The Hudson Benchwarmers would like to extend a warm welcome to the Arrowhead players, coaches, and fans. A lot of them long drive from the Heartland suburb. That's by Milwaukee. Made the trip up here. Got up here yesterday. I saw them practicing on the field. So they welcome them to Hudson. Hopefully they like their stay here in Hudson, Wisconsin. Also a big thanks to the paint crew who came out last night and painted the field for us to have this nice venue tonight.
Now big third down for the Raiders. Richards will go out of the shotgun. One receiver to each side, takes the snap, looks to fire, looking to the right. Now he'll go over the middle, man open, caught inside the 1, and he reaches over. Did he get there? No signal yet. Touchdown, Hudson Raiders. Pass complete from Charlie Richards. The refs were not on the goal line. Pass was complete to number 4, Joe Gagliardi, the 6-foot, 170-pound senior receiver. His first catch of the night. He reaches his right arm over, gets the ball across the goal line, and now the 13-7 lead extended to 19-7.
The Cinderella story is continuing. The upset in the making, potentially. Hudson takes advantage of the Heartland Arrowhead turnover on the second half kickoff, and strike pay dirt, looking to go up by 2 scores.
Again, Bell on for the extra point. Snap down, kick up. This one looks good, and it is through. So this time they convert the extra point. 2 out of 3 on the extra points tonight. A pass from Charlie Richards to Joe Gagliardi from about 23 yards out. A Raiders touchdown, and they now lead it by a score of 20-7 with 10:27 to go here in the third quarter.
Well, a nice start to the half by the Hudson Raiders. Taking advantage of a turnover, and really that was just an aggressive going back to the turnover. That was just an aggressive play by Nick Holm. To set that up. I can't say enough right now about Charlie Richards. Little Charlie, 5'9", 165-pound quarterback. He has shown me poise. He has shown me athleticism. He's shown me leadership in his first start. He is just playing lights out.
Despite being a first-year starter for the Hudson Raiders, he is a captain on this team, along with John Cryer, the 6-foot defensive back, and also Dayton Demel and Xander Motu. So, like you said, a lot of good senior leadership on this football team, mostly exemplified so far by quarterback Charlie Richards. So 20-7 lead, 10:27 to go here in the third quarter. A 2-possession lead for the Hudson Raiders, and they are kicking off once again.
Who would have thunk it? I go back to my earlier comment, and it really echoes a lot of comments that I heard in the days leading up to this game, that Hudson was a prohibitive, big-time underdog in this game, but they have shown anything but that so far.
So after Jose Ramos fumbled really got the ball taken away on the last return, Nick Bastine back to take it deep for the Warhawks. He'll take it inside the end zone, and they'll call a touchback there. So Jose Ramos replaced by Nick Bastine, who takes it for the touchback. So the Warhawks, with 10:26 to go in the third quarter, will start from their own 20-yard line as they trail it by 13 points, 20-7.
And if you're the Heartland Arrowhead Warhawks, you just got to take a step back. You got to regain your composure. This game isn't over by a long shot. They had that turnover, but offensively, their final 2 possessions of the first half, they look tremendous. That's Warhawk football. They can move quickly. They're spread formation, a lot of speed, a lot of athleticism here, and they're just looking to get back into that offensive groove they showed at the tail end of the first half.
And Duranso remains the guy in at quarterback, and Bastine stuffed, and they're going to say another fumble. Maybe not. That was Bastine on the carry, and they are going to say fumble, recovered by the Hudson Raiders at the Warhawk 20-yard line. 2 touches of the football for the Warhawks. 2 fumbles taken over by the Hudson Raiders in plus territory, and Hudson is back in business, once again up by 2 touchdowns.
And the Hudson fan base is shocked, and they're rocking right now. Wow. The Warhawks are just shooting themselves in the foot with these turnovers deep in their own territory.
3 plays, 2 fumbles for the Warhawks so far here in the second half. Richards and the Hudson Raider offense back out onto the field. Richards going to go under center. 1 receiver to the right, that's Gagliardi, the man who caught the touchdown. Now the option pitch, he'll pitch it out across the 20, across the 15, nearly out of bounds, and still pumping the legs. Pushed out finally at the 14-yard line. Once again, that's Trapiccio on the option pitch from Richards. Another nice play on first down and second down and short.
We want to go into the MSBN email box. Joe Kelly, Dan Kelly, John Gallardi, it's actually pronounced. Their grandfather is the legendary St. John's coach, and Matt Monette listening in. Cheers from Madison.
Gallardi on the touchdown reception earlier. Richards under center. He'll hand off Diemel. This is right side across the 5. Plunges forward across a Warhawk defender, and a touchdown for the Hudson Raiders. From 14 yards out, Dayton Diemel, his second touchdown of the evening, and the lead is extended once again, 26-7 in favor of the Hudson Raiders.
You are seeing history being made on August 28th here at Newton Field tonight. The Hudson Raiders coming in as a huge underdog against the #1 program in the state of Wisconsin, and they are an extra point away from going up by 3 scores.
Richards the holder. Bell in for the extra point. Kick is up once again. This one looks good, and it is. So 3 out of 4 on the extra points. 27-7 the lead now for the Hudson Raiders. And now with 10:09 to go, a 3-touchdown lead for the home team Hudson Raiders on their own field. And the Warhawks set to get the ball back once again. Only 2 minutes in, not even 2 minutes into the second half, and 2 touchdowns already for Hudson.
I want to go back to what we talked about in the pregame. Penalties, turnovers, special teams play, and those things right now are working against the Heartland Arrowhead Warhawks. I still got to say, this game is not over. It isn't. I'm going to keep saying that. This Heartland team is that good, okay? Once this offense gets rolling, but Hudson, give Hudson all the credit in the world. Not only getting the turnovers, taking advantage of the turnovers.
Yep, certainly. Polig again, once again on to kickoff for the Hudson Raiders. Bastine will remain in along with Perrette. Back deep to receive for Arrowhead.
If you're the Raiders, you're jubilant right now for obvious reason, but you can't get complacent.
Absolutely.
And if you're the Warhawks, again, you can't lose your composure. You can't lose your composure.
Only 2 minutes into the second half. 10:09 to go here in the third quarter. Polig's kick left to right from his 40-yard line. End over end. Another nice kick will taken by Bastine at the 3, out to the 10, the 15 to the 20, and swarmed down at the 18-yard line. Number 25 again, Nick Holm, flying around the football tonight, makes another big stop on the kickoff return, and that's where the Warhawks will begin, at the 19-yard line.
Nick Holm, we have called his name so many times tonight. He is all over the place. He is fired up.
Bastine slammed down at his own 19-yard line. We'll see if he comes back in, and actually they will replace him. Spencer Papandrea back into the game, right next to Duranso in the backfield. 2 receivers left and right for the Warhawks from their own 19-yard line. Out of the shotgun, they haven't gone under center all night. Looks to the left, fires to the left. That's Perrette across the 20, down across the 25, and pushed out at about the 26-yard line. Nice pass and catch from Duranso to Justin Perrette. They've hooked up about 3 or 4 times already tonight, and about a 5 or 6 yard pickup. Second down and short now for the Warhawks.
I like the play call by the Warhawks. You can't. There's no play in the playbook that's a 20-point play.
Yep.
You get it back by bunches. You get back in that offensive rhythm. It's the turnovers that have just killed them.
Papandrea to Duranso's right in the backfield. Again, 2 receivers each side. They'll hand off Papandrea up the middle across the 30. Another nice little hole across the 35 to the 36-yard line. First down for the Warhawks. About a 10 or 15-yard pickup that time. And quickly moving are the Arrowhead Warhawks back to the line of scrimmage.
This is Warhawk football. This is what they do. They come at you with both barrels, that hurry-up offense, just like Hudson runs, no huddle. Everything is shotgun.
First and 10, their own 36-yard line. Swings it out quickly across the 40, close to the 45-yard line. An 8-yard gain on first down. Duranso to number 2, Jake Hauer. Another quick connection, and second down and short.
Zach, basically the Warhawks are running a 2-minute. They're running a 2-minute offense. They look at that scoreboard here. They're down by 20 points.
Yep. Duranso takes the snap. Papandrea up the middle. Duranso actually keeps it himself. He'll push his way forward. It looks like he's going to have enough for a first down across the 47-yard line. They are going to give it to him. So first down, their second one of this drive, and marching are the Arrowhead Warhawks inside of 9 minutes now to go in the third quarter. quickly again looking to the sideline, some defensive changes for the Hudson Raiders, trying to get some fresh legs in there to keep up with this fast-paced Warhawk offense. Duranzo gets the play from the sideline off of those cue cards, 2 receivers each side. Papandrea in the backfield, and a quick pass out again. This time it's Perrette, caught at the 50, nearly slips out of a tackle, but he does make the catch across the midfield line into Hudson Raider territory to the 49-yard line. A pickup of about 4 on the play, and actually running back Carson Myers back into the game for the Warhawks. And now some wide receiver shifting going on. Perrette out of the game after making that catch. He'll get a quick water break and come back in. 8:15 to go in the third quarter. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Here's Duranzo getting the play, checking his wrist. And Carson Myers to his left. Duranzo out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. Handoff Myers right side. Got a couple of blocks there. Across 45-40. Down inside the 40-yard line and taken down. Finally tripped up at the Hudson Raider 37-yard line. So 6 or 7 plays offensively for the Warhawks, and they've moved it about 40 yards so far.
And again, that's Warhawk football. And they're into that offensive rhythm here. Hudson defensively is going to have to straighten up here. The Warhawks moving the football.
And again, quickly moving up to the line, ready to take the snap. Here's Duranzo looking right. He's going to fire a swing pass out to Myers. Not much going. He does make the catch and pushes his way forward for about 1, maybe 2 yards. That's Carson Myers on the reception, and he'll quickly come out of the ball game. And Nick Bastine back into the backfield for the Warhawks. Perrette also back into the game. He'll be lined up near side as part of a 3-receiver set on the left and 1 receiver on the right. And again, already back up to the line of scrimmage, getting that play in and wanting to move quickly. We're inside 7.5 minutes to go now here in the third quarter with the Hudson Raiders on top, 27-7 over the Arrowhead Warhawks. Here's Duranzo again out of the shotgun. Gets the snap, looks left, a little bit of pressure, steps up, fires over the middle, pass caught. That's Perrette, 25, inside the 20. Nice hit by the defensive back that time for the Hudson Raiders. That's number 9, Devin Dalton, called his name a couple times. But yet again, a pass completed from Duranzo to Perrette. Another first down, this time to the 20-yard line. And again, Warhawks moving quickly. Chains just get set and the ball is snapped. Handoff, Bastine up the middle. Not much doing, got inside the 20. About a 3-yard gain that time, so 2nd down and 7 now for the Warhawks.
Well, the Warhawks know they got to strike pay dirt here, and they got a good drive going, and with the spread formation, a hurry-up offense, and it's working.
2 receivers each side again for Duranzo. Bastine to his right. Again, they'll hand off. Bastine this time trying to make something happen across the left side, across the 15, down to about the 14-yard line. Some extracurricular activity, and we're going to get a flag after the play. A little pushing and shoving from both sides, and we'll see what the call is.
Well, it's all about who threw the first punch, who started what, and
unsportsmanlike conduct is going to be called against the offense, and I saw the pushing and shoving. That's Arrowhead's number 18, Tyler Jones. A little pushing and shoving with a couple of Hudson defenders after the play was over. So that negative play will negate about a 2 or 3 yard gain, and they'll redo 2nd down from, let's see, they'll mark it at the 29-yard line.
And that's what I was referring to earlier. If you're the Warhawks, you got to maintain your composure. Obviously, you're frustrated. You're shocked. They certainly didn't think they'd be down 20 points here. 6.5 to go in the third quarter. I can guarantee you that.
So it'll be 2nd down and 19 yards to go. They need the 10-yard line for a first down. 6:26 to go and counting here in the third quarter. 3 receivers far side to the right, and Perrette, the lone receiver, near side at the bottom of your screen. Duranzo takes the snap, looking right. Now he fires back over to the left. Perrette is open in the end zone. Ball's up in the air. Did he get a foot down? Incomplete. They said he didn't get a foot down. He was out of bounds. He did make the catch. Incomplete pass, however, so 3rd down and 19. Disaster avoided that time by the Hudson defense.
Boy, beautiful catch. And again, in high school football, it's just like Division I college. You only have to get 1 foot down, but you have to have possession. The referee was right there. It was close. Yep. Beautiful pass. It was right where it needed to be, but inches away.
Nice pass from Duranzo. Perrette just couldn't quite come up with it. Perrette comes off the field. 2 receivers left and right. Bastine to Duranzo's left. 3rd down and 19 from the 29-yard line. Duranzo takes the snap, looking over the middle. Now he steps forward. Now he's going to fire to the end zone again into triple coverage, and this one way out of the end zone. Intended receiver was number 11, Jack Becker. No chance on that one. 3 Hudson defenders converging on the ball that time. So 4th down and 19 for the Warhawks.
And you know what? They're not even considering punting.
No, absolutely not.
You know, 4th and 19, they have to. They have to.
27-7 lead for the Hudson Raiders. As I said, 4th down, 19 yards to go for the Warhawks from the Hudson Raider 29-yard line.
And if you're the Warhawks, you have to have this.
Empty set in the backfield. Duranzo all by himself. Bastine lined up as a receiver. 4 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Duranzo takes the snap, obviously going to pass here, steps up. Now he looks to the right, nothing there. Back to his left, fires over the middle towards the end zone, and a wide open Andy Miller. How did he slip through the defense? Andy Miller comes away with a Warhawk touchdown.
Well, that's what the doctor ordered for the Warhawks there. Hudson had good coverage, and, you know, eventually somebody freed up. It was kind of a Joe Cap pass, kind of a topsy-turvy, wobbly thing, but somehow, some way he got open and convert a 4th and long. And the Warhawks live to fight another day. Boy, did they need that one.
Credit to Duranzo for scrambling around for so long and evading the defenders in the pocket. Finally steps up, finds a wide open Andy Miller. That's his 2nd touchdown pass and also 2nd touchdown catch of the night for Andy Miller. And on for the extra point. Kick is up, and that appears to be through. Indeed it is. Again, that's John Mack on the extra point. So the lead cut from 27-7 to 27-14 in favor of the Hudson Raiders. Some time being taken off the clock, however. 5:49 now left to go in the 3rd quarter with Hudson again on top, 27-14.
Well, you know, that's what the Warhawks needed. Hudson defensively forced them into a 4th and 19. They were particularly hurt by that misconduct penalty that backed them up 15 yards. But somehow, some way, and that's what great teams do. And, you know, Heartland's definitely a great team. They found a way to convert it. And, you know, now it's Hudson. It's Hudson's responsibility to get their offense back going, churn out the yards on the ground, start chewing up clock. But one thing you can't do if you're the Hudson Raiders, you know, you're the underdog. You're looking to pull the upset. You can't play not to lose.
Yep.
You can't play not to lose.
Again, Burgess back to receive the kickoff from number 23, John Mack of the Arrowhead Warhawks. Kicking from right to left. 5:49 to go. 2 timeouts remaining for the Raiders. All 3 timeouts remaining for the Warhawks. Here's the kick. End over end kick going to be taken by Burgess at about the 10-yard line. He'll step into that wall, 25 out across the 30, driven back there. And that's where Hudson will take over at about the 24-yard line. And here comes Charlie Richards once again. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns so far for the Hudson Raiders in the second half. We'll see what they do with their third.
Well, you got to avoid the turnover, and just keep Dayton Diemel, Nick Holm, and Charlie Richards. Tremendous. And he's gone to the air. What's he for passing tonight? I believe he's
4 for 5.
4 for 5. Tremendous.
5:49 to go. No time expired off the clock on that last kickoff. Richards out of the shotgun, 3 backs in the backfield, 2 receivers to the right on the near side. Takes the snap. They'll go Diemel that's Nick Holm up the middle. He'll get maybe a yard on that one. Not a lot doing. Nice job converging was the Warhawk defensive line, and Holm maybe gets 1. So 2nd and long coming up for the Raiders.
What a game Nick Holm has played tonight. Special teams, on defense, on offense. He's just been everywhere.
So Richards this time will go under center. Again, that wing-back formation, 3 backs in the backfield, receiver to the right. Handoff, Trapiccio right side, makes a man miss in the backfield. Flag down on the play, across the 20, pushed out at about the 23-yard line. So as it stands, maybe a 2-yard gain, but it looks like we're going to have a holding penalty on the Raiders.
And this Heartland Arrowhead defense, the Warhawk defense, has got their ears pinned back. They are aggressively going after Hudson. They see the the scoreboard. They're down by 13. They need stops. They need to get that ball back in their offense. If you're Hudson, you got to just keep getting those first downs. Use the clock. Keep momentum on your side.
It was a holding penalty, and I think Arrowhead trying to figure out if they want to accept or decline. And it looks like they are going to accept the 10-yard holding penalty. So we'll redo second down. And it'll be from Hudson's own, it looks like, 12-yard line. So second down and close to 20 yards to go here. Approaching second down, 22 yards to go. Approaching 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Richards will go out of the shotgun. Diemel to his right, two receivers left. Now he goes back under center. Diemel directly behind. Motion man is Marvin. Richards, handoff Diemel straight up the middle, not much doing. They push him back for maybe a 1-yard loss. So now it's going to be 3rd and long for the Raider offense from their own 11-yard line.
Want to go quick into the MSBN email bag. Alex Burgess, former Raider, emailing in and says, "Go Raiders. It's great to see Hudson football still playing so well." Alex Burgess, great career here. Once upon a time as a Raider. Andy Johnson, shout out to the class of 2015 and the Raider Nation. Andy Johnson, former Raider.
Pre-receiver set. Richards out of the under center. Handoff straight up the middle. Not much doing. 4-yard gain, and it'll bring up 4th down. So if nothing else, Hudson chewed some clock on that drive. It was Diemel again on the carry, and it'll be 4th down and about 18 yards to go for the Raiders, and they should elect to punt here.
Well, this Arrowhead converting that 4th and long and punching it in has really put a fire under them, and Hudson on that offensive possession really went nowhere.
So ball's going to be at the 15-yard line. Back deep to receive Duranso. And I can't quite see the other number for Arrowhead. It may just be Perrette or Bastine once again. And now another flag pre-snap, and it looks like a false start penalty against Hudson. Yep, indeed it is. So back him up 5 more yards. So now punter Christian Bell will have to kick from his own end zone. Nothing you ever want to see.
This is huge, and I know Frank and Peggy tuned in down south. They need a big kick out of senior Christian Bell out of his own end zone.
Arrowhead receivers at the Hudson 45-yard line, and that's not what you wanted.
No.
Pops straight up in the air, close to their own 25, rolling. Got a little bit of a friendly roll, but not what you wanted to see there out of the Hudson punt team. The ball goes across the 33-yard line, and the Warhawks will take over at the Raider 32.
I'm looking across here, and whereas 15 minutes ago, the Arrowhead fans kind of in shock disbelief, the players as well, they're fired up over there. Even though they're down 27-14, Hudson's got to fight right now, even though they're ahead. Yep. They're sitting on a 2-touchdown lead. They're on their heels right now. And this Arrowhead offense is coming at them with both barrels. And it's time for the defense. So the Hudson defense has to step up and stem the tide.
3:14 to go in the third quarter. 3 receivers set on the right. Perrette on all by himself near side on the bottom of your screen. Duranso out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. He'll run it himself up the middle. Big hole across the 30. Close to the 25. Far sideline. 20, 15. And finally steps out of bounds on his own. Inside the 15 and close to the 14-yard line. So about a 20-yard pickup for Johnny Duranso on that first down play inside Hudson Raider territory, and all of a sudden they almost have a 1st and goal.
Well, and they're spreading it out, spreading the defense out, and then they're allowing for their quarterback, when he sees an opportunity, to just take off, and it's working.
Twins receivers both sides. Bastine to Duranso's left in the backfield. And it looks like they're going to audible the play, looking back to the sideline. They readjust. Duranso gets set once again. And here's the snap. Handoff Bastine across the right side, across the 10, 5, inside the 5, and drag down. It'll be a 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line. So another big run from Nick Bastine. And 1st and goal for the Warhawks.
Well, Bastine's had a fine night for the Warhawks, and this is where the Hudson defense has to draw the line in the sand and stop the Warhawks.
Again, Twins receivers both sides. Handoff Bastine up the middle, across the 5, across the end zone, and another Warhawk touchdown. So again, cutting into the lead Hudson, on their first 2 possessions of the second half, they score 2 touchdowns. And now 2 out of 3 touchdowns for the Warhawks on their possessions here in the second half. And all of a sudden it goes from 27-7 to 27-20 in favor of the Raiders, with an extra point pending for the Warhawks.
Well, we talked about how good this Warhawk team is, and we're seeing it. And Hudson right now doesn't have an answer, but they're still sitting on the lead. This next offensive possession for the Hudson Raiders is so important.
27-20. And now a flag. It's going to be against the Hudson Raiders defense on the extra point. So move the ball up from the 3 to the 2-yard line, or the 1.5-yard line on the extra point, and we'll try again.
And here's another thing, Zach. Potentially, now that Heartland has closed the gap considerably, that missed extra point by the Hudson Raiders in the second quarter now looms large.
Snap down, kick up, and that one was a little wobbly, but it does go through. So extra point good from the Warhawks, 27-21 in favor of the Hudson Raiders. 2:49 to go here in the first half.
And
in the third quarter.
We have ourselves a ball game. The Heartland Arrowhead fans across the way on their feet cheering the guys on. Hudson has to respond here. They need some first downs. They got to get back into the rhythm. And, even though they're ahead right now and they're getting the ball, the momentum is all on the side of the Heartland Arrowhead Warhawks.
As you mentioned, big offensive possession for the Raiders. Again, Burgess back deep to receive for the Raiders. And John Mack once again kicking off for the Warhawks. His own 40-yard line, again going right to left. As I said, 2:49 to go here in the third quarter. Hudson was up 27-7, 2 minutes into this third quarter, and the Warhawks have clawed their way back to 27-21.
I'd watch for the onside kick right here.
And here comes Mack up to the line, and it is deep kick. Burgess going to take it once again. A nice kick from Mack into the end zone, so it will be a touchback. So Hudson will take over from their own 20-yard line. Inside of 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. They have 2 timeouts remaining in the half. Warhawks, have all 3 of theirs as the Raiders lead it by 6, 27-21.
Well, the Raiders on the cusp of a historic upset potentially here at Newton Field. Went up as much as 27-7, but the Warhawks have a fire lit under them and have closed the gap to 27-20. Now it's Hudson Raider time to respond.
Lots of work yet to be done for the Hudson Raiders as Richard leads the troops back onto the field. He'll go under center for the first play. 3 running backs in the backfield. Trapiccio in motion. Richards back to pass, looking right, wheel route. Got a man near side and caught, brought in near midfield. A nice catch by Jagger Marvin. A beautiful pitch and catch from Richards to Jagger Marvin, right on the money, and a nice diving catch near midfield, and a big first down on the first play of the possession.
Beautiful extension that time by Marvin, and he got 1 foot in bounds. If he had to get both, I'm not sure it would have been a catch, but he did get 1 in bounds, happened right out in front of us. Nice play by Marvin.
So now 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line, near midfield. Richards under center, handoff. Diemel gets across midfield, maybe to the Warhawk 49-yard line. Gain of 2 on this first down. So 2nd down and 8 upcoming. And the big man gets the call once again up the middle for the Raiders.
Tia Talone, a former Warhawk, watching from Gainesville, Florida. Cheering on her boys. Tia, thank you for emailing in.
Richards again under center, 3 backs in the backfield, 1 receiver to each side. Tight end to the right, Richards, and fake handoff Diemel. He'll keep the pitch himself and crosses the 46 down to the 46-yard line. So make it another 3-yard gain. So 3rd down and about 5 yards to go now in plus territory at the Warhawk 46-yard line.
Just a quick score update from across the river over in Minnesota. Another upset potentially brewing third quarter. Woodbury up 13-7 over Cretin-Durham Hall.
Now Richards will go out of the shotgun this time. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Marvin in motion pre-snap. Richards back to pass, looks over the middle, fires incomplete. Could have gone either way. Could have been a pass interference penalty possibly. Pass was intended for Hudson's Sam Carney. Nevertheless, incomplete, so 4th down and 5 upcoming. After that big first down play on the first play of the possession for the Raiders, they come up short on 3rd down, and they'll have to punt. Here comes Christian Bell.
And they need a big punt out of Christian Bell again. He shanked when they're deep in his own end zone. It set up that last Warhawk score. They got to try to pin them inside the 20 as this Warhawk offense is really rolling right now.
See if he can redeem himself. Going to kick from his own 40-yard line. Ball on the Warhawk 46, clean snap, kick up. This one's much better, a spiral kick down to about the 10-yard line, taken there inside the 5. Backing up is Jose Ramos, nearly taken down, but he gets back out near side across the 10, 15. Now swarmed down. He makes a couple of men miss, so a nice return
it was
by Antonio Jose Ramos, maybe redeeming himself a little bit from that fumble on the second half, the initial second half kickoff earlier. So about a 10, 15-yard return, and the Warhawks will start at their own 19-yard line.
This is a fired-up Warhawks team right now. This Hudson defense, it's gut check time, protecting a 6-point lead on the cusp of the big potential upset. Minute 20 to go here in the 3rd, and they have to put the clamps down on this Warhawk offense now deep in their own territory, looking to potentially tie the game or even go ahead.
Arrowhead scoring touchdowns on 2 straight possessions. This would make 3 if they can do it again here. Duranzo back out onto the field. We've seen Risch in a couple of times for the Warhawks. Duranzo out of the shotgun, man in motion. Now fakes the handoff. This time they go Bastine up the middle, across the 20, across to the 23, 24-yard line, taken down there. So a gain of 5 on the first down play. Nick Bastine up the middle, and 2nd down and 6 upcoming for the Warhawks.
I want to say hello to Sam and Emily Pulvermacher. So way to go, boys, cheering from Chinaqua Circle in Heartland, tuning in. Thank you for tuning in tonight.
Again, Twins receivers, both sides. Inside a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. Hudson football fans on their feet here in Hudson. Duranzo out of the shotgun, takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Bastine now will swing it out to the left, across the 20, close to the 25-yard line, and swarmed down by the Hudson defense. There was number 18 for the Warhawks. That's Tyler Jones, who committed that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on their last possession. And a 3rd down and 5 upcoming for the Warhawks.
Huge defensive play for Hudson. They most likely, would if they're stop them here, would force Heartland to punt deep in their own territory.
3 receivers set to the right. Perrette near side all by himself. Now they'll look back to the sideline. Inside of 10 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. They may not get a playoff, and it doesn't look like they're going to.
They're going to let it run out.
2, 1 here in the 3rd quarter. So they'll let the clock run out in the 3rd quarter, and that's where we'll have it to begin the 4th. A 3rd down and 5 upcoming for the Warhawks. They trail it. Hudson Raiders 27. Arrowhead Warhawks 21 with 12 minutes to play here in Hudson.
Across the state, I think some eyeballs are tuning into this one now as this score 27-21. We go into this decisive 4th quarter in this showdown game. A lot of people, myself included, thought Heartland would come in here and probably win convincingly, but there's a magic to Newton Field with the Hudson Raiders. A 20-1 record the last 4 seasons, a 20-game winning streak stopped with that playoff loss to Appleton North last year. In the 4 years I've done this, Superior came in ranked. They beat them. They beat 2 very good Menominee teams. They beat Kenosha Bradford when they were defending state champions. They beat a very good Minnetonka team last year. And so it has been done before, and the Hudson Raiders clinging to that 6-point lead here in the 4th.
Big 3rd down play from their own 25-yard line. Zach Barsh and John Wecken with you on August 28th on MSBN. Duranzo out of the shotgun, 3 receivers near side. They'll hand off Bastine up the middle. Not a lot there, but he bounces it out across the 25, close to the 30, across the 30-yard line, and they will convert on 3rd down and 5. The Warhawks get 6 when they needed 5 and move the chains. That's another Arrowhead Warhawk 1st down to start the 4th quarter.
Good play call. Bastine's had a heck of a night, and they elected not to go to the air that time and got it on the ground.
Now trips to the near side. to the right. Duranzo out of the shotgun, back to pass, looking to fire it deep. Perrette is the intended receiver down the far sideline, too far out of his reach. Incomplete for Justin Perrette, who's come up with a couple of nice catches so far for the Warhawks, but incomplete on first down, so 2nd down and 10 upcoming.
They were going for it all that time, just a straight fly pattern down the left side of the field, and he can throw a good ball.
2nd down and 10 from their own 31-yard line go the Arrowhead Warhawks. Again, looking to the sideline. A couple of hands on the hips for the Hudson Raiders defense, possibly getting a little tired out there. A very fast-paced offense from the Warhawks. All of them checking their wristbands, and they'll go 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Bastine in the backfield to Duranzo's right, in his right hip pocket. Duranzo out of the shotgun, handoff Bastine. No, he'll keep it himself up the middle, across the 35, across the 40, dragging a couple of Hudson Raiders defenders with him, close to another first down, and it looks like they will have another first down across the 41-yard line.
And again, as Harlan Arrowhead potentially driving into Hudson territory, that missed extra point of the Hudson Raiders is looming big now as they're sitting on a 6-point lead instead of a 7.
Duranzo and his Warhawks with the ball at their own 42. They trail it 27-21 here early in the 4th quarter, approaching 11:20 to go in the ball game. Again, Twins receivers both sides, a little bit bunched to the near side. Papandrea into the backfield now for the Warhawks, replacing Bastine. Duranzo takes the snap, up the middle, going to keep it himself once again. Gets a block at the 45, far side, 50, 45, 40. Makes another man miss and finally dragged down at the Hudson Raider 35-yard line. Make it a gain of about 21 yards on the play. And inside to Raider territory, 35-yard line. Inside of 11 minutes to go now. And the Warhawks pushing the ball once again.
Well, they've ran that quarterback keeper all night coming off that spread formation, and the blocking was there, and he got a nice gain out of it.
4 receiver set once again. Duranzo takes the snap, looks right, quick fires out that way. There's inside the 35, across the 30, close to the 25. Pass complete to Jake Howard. Couple of catches for him on the night. A quick pass from Duranzo, and again another first down. Close to the 22-yard line, we'll call it. 10:40 to go here in the 4th quarter.
And the Hudson Raiders defense, again, back to the wall as this Arrowhead offense has come alive here in the 2nd half.
3 receivers far side, Howard by himself to the near side. That's handoff Papandrea across the 25, across the 20, inside the 20, down to about the 18-yard line, so good for 4 or 5 on the first down carry, and more positive yardage for the Warhawks.
As soon as we get a break in the action, take our breath, we'll go back into the MSBN email bag. Keep those emails coming in. We'll get to them at our earliest convenience.
Papandrea still into the game, this time to Duranzo's left, along with 3 receivers to the left. And again, Howard all by himself, near side to the right. Quick bubble screen pass out to the left. That's Miller across the 20, across the 15, inside the 15. Good enough for a first down, far sideline. And it looks like about a gain of 8 or 9. And another first down for the Warhawks. They'll spot the ball at the 11.5-yard line, so they can get another first down at, we'll call it the 1. They're going to call it 1st and goal from the 10-yard line, so they cannot get another first down. 1st and goal from the Raider 10-yard line, inside 10 minutes to go now, as the Warhawks trail it by 6, 27-21 here in the 4th quarter.
Hudson needs a defensive stop.
3 receivers near side. Perrette all by himself at the top of the screen. Duranzo going to keep it up the middle. Got a couple initial blocks. Now he bounces it out to the left side. Runs over defender. In for the Warhawk touchdown. So the game is tied on a nice keeper by Johnny Duranzo. Keeps it himself. Runs off the left edge into the end zone. And the game is tied at 27. A 10-yard rushing touchdown from Johnny Duranzo. An extra point coming. And this could put the Warhawks on top.
Well, the door was opened, 27-7. Hudson sitting on a 20-point lead, but we knew it wasn't over. And the Heartland Arrowhead Warhawks are an extra point away from actually taking back the lead.
Duranzo will be the holder, as it's been the whole game. Snap clean, spot down, kick up. And a booming kick on the extra point, well through the uprights. So the Warhawks take the lead. It is now Arrowhead Warhawks 28, Hudson Raiders 27 with 9:51 to go in this ball game. Certainly not over yet. Hudson 2 timeouts remaining. Arrowhead with all 3 of their timeouts remaining. And as I said, inside of 10 minutes to go, we've got ourselves a very good ball game here.
Well, yeah, you know, back come Warhawks storming back. And if you're the Hudson Raiders, you need a big return here. You need to get back into the offensive rhythm. You know, Christian Bell is pretty good with his field goals, and potentially get him in a position. A lot of time left. But Hudson, offensively, they've had little spurts, but they've been unable to sustain any consistent offense in the second half. They did take advantage of the 2 Warhawk mistakes deep in their own territory, and certainly that's worthy of note. But overall, offensively, the Warhawk defense has pretty much shut them down in the second half.
John Mack on to kick off once again for the Warhawks, and it is Burgess back deep to receive for the Hudson Raiders.
A lot of excitement in the air here tonight. Newton Field is electric.
Both sides of the stadium, both teams' fans getting into this one. I see people standing on both sides of the field. Mack and his Warhawks ready to kick this one off with that 1-point lead here in the 4th quarter. And there's the kick, end over end kick near the goal line, going to be taken at the 3, across the 10, 15, 20, near side, across the 25. Flag is down. That's Nick Holm bringing it across their own 25-yard line. We'll see what the flag is. It's going to be holding on the Hudson Raiders, so that's a spot foul, so not necessarily from the 25. We'll see where they mark it.
And just as Heartland shot themselves in the foot with penalties earlier in the game, Hudson doing the same thing. They're going to be backed up deep in their own territory. Tough break.
So it looks like they're going to move the ball all the way back to the Hudson 11-yard line. So that's where Charlie Richards and this Raider offense will take over, down by 1 point, 9:46 to go in the ball game. At one point had a 27-7 lead over these Warhawks, and now seeing if they can retake that lead. Richards will go out of the shotgun. One receiver to each side. Ball is set, and here we go. Richards takes the snap, gonna option itself across the 10, and we'll see. Didn't quite get to the 15-yard line. Maybe a gain of 3 on that one, so 2nd down and 7 for the Raiders.
And again, as much as Harlan Arrowhead has come alive, Hudson only down by a point.
Yep.
With the ball deep in their own territory.
A little bit of a calmness to these Hudson Raiders, not necessarily in a hurry here. 2 receivers right, 1 left, 2 men in the backfield. Trapiccio, the man in motion. Richards out to his right. He'll fire that way. Ooh, he had a man open. It was Jagger Marvin. He was wide open in the flat. Could have possibly had about 10 or 15 extra yards after the catch. Richards was just a little bit off target that time, so make it 3rd down and 7.
Similar play that they ran to Marvin earlier in the half with great success. But the pass just wasn't there.
So good route, not so much on the throw from Charlie Richards. 3rd down and 7, 9:10 to go here in the 4th. 2 men in the backfield, 1 receiver to each side. Richards will go under center here. Tight end to the right, Trapiccio again in motion. Richards will roll out to the right once again. Now he'll step up. Got some running room across the 15, 20, across the 20-yard line. It'll be close to a 1st down. He dove forward right at the end.
All where the spot is.
And they're going to say 4th down. Didn't quite get there. Didn't even call for the measurement. And very quickly,
they're going to go.
Hudson right back to the line. They're going to go for it.
Gutsy call this far deep in their own territory.
Richards under center. Trapiccio again in motion. Man jumped off sides, and it's going to be a 1st down. A man jumped off sides on the hard count, and Hudson's going to get a free 5 yards on the Warhawk penalty, so make it a 1st down. They'll move it to about the 25, maybe the 26-yard line.
Just what the doctor ordered for Hudson. They convert on a penalty.
A great hard count call from the sideline for the Hudson Raider offense. As John's excited here in the booth. 8:41 to go here in the 4th quarter. Richards under center. Again, 2 men in the backfield, 1 receiver to each side. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it now. He pitches Trapiccio right side across the 25, maybe a 2-yard gain. Warhawk defense had that one sniffed out all the way, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
This is a very fast, athletic Warhawk defense, and that play to be successful had to develop faster to be able to cut the corner there and pull a 7-8 yard gain out of that when they only got 2.
Again, Raiders down by a point, 28-27, approaching 8 minutes to go in the ball game. Again, 3 men in the backfield, Marvin in motion. Richards back to pass, rolls to the right, in trouble, flips it out, and it's going to be picked off, far sideline, and they're going to return it for a touchdown. Picked off by number 7, Noah Harvey. Richards was hit as he threw a wobbling pass. Harvey right into his hands, goes for about 25 yards, and a Warhawk touchdown the other way.
And boy, has the tide turned.
That makes the score Warhawks 34, Raiders 27, pending the extra point from the Arrowhead Warhawks. We could have ourselves an 8-point ball game. Exactly 8 minutes to go in this one.
Tough turnover deep in your own territory. That's not what Hudson needed there.
Extra point team in. Snap, spot, kick. It's good. And they extend the lead. So an interception return for a touchdown. Noah Harvey, the man on the return interception for a touchdown for the Arrowhead Warhawks, makes it 35-27. Bad news, 8-point ball game. Yep. Good news, Hudson gets the ball right back.
They do, and it's, they were unable to take advantage of converting that short 4th down on the penalty, and Richards probably, it's easy to say after the fact, he should have just tucked it under and taken the loss. But this game is still not over. 8 minutes to go. Hudson has 2 timeouts, down by potentially 1 score if you factor in the 2-point conversion. Again, with that missed extra point looming so large for Hudson they had in the second quarter. After Hudson took advantage of those 2 Warhawk mistakes early in the second half, it's been all Heartland Arrowhead, really.
You're certainly correct about that, but like we said, 8 minutes to go and a chance for not only Charlie Richards, but this entire Hudson Raider offense to redeem themselves here with 2 timeouts remaining and 8 minutes left on the board. Mack ready to kick off for the Warhawks. Burgess back deep to receive, along with Marvin and Holm. So deep end over end kick. This one going to go into the end zone. Burgess will take it there. And another touchback for John Mack. A very good and very impressive, kind of goes under the radar a little bit. Very impressive John Mack kicking off for the Arrowhead Warhawks.
Oh, he's put practically everyone into the end zone. Yep. We're going to quick go into the MSBN email bag here as Hudson attempts to get to cut into that 8-point deficit. It's been all Heartland here in the last quarter and a half. Michael Foley emailing in from Hudsonite.com, hoping the Raiders can hold on. Great effort through 3 quarters. Janet Hack, go Josh Wildman Frey, the Hack family cheering from Elkhorn tonight. We'll continue to get through these emails.
7:58, Richards under center. And some motion at the beginning of that play. Richards not happy with his offensive line, as they are going to call a false start on the Hudson offensive line. So back them up 5 yards on the first play of the possession. Not how you want to start that one. So 1st and 15 from their own 15-yard line.
Well, now it's Hudson that has to maintain their composure. We talked about the Warhawks when they were down by 20 earlier, and, that's the type of thing. Hudson's frustrated football team right now.
Richards on the option keeper, going to flip it back out. Trapiccio, far side across the 20-yard line. Got those 5 or 6 back that they lost on the false start penalty, so make it 2nd down and about 9 yards to go for the Hudson Raiders. Trapiccio did get pushed out of bounds, so that momentarily stops the clock. So now they'll go 2 receivers to the near side, 3 in the backfield, that wing T formation. Richards under center. Marvin in motion, he'll get the keeper. Jet sweep near side across the 20, and he'll be pushed back, a loss of 2 yards on the play. So Marvin gets the handoff on that pre-snap motion, and it'll be 3rd and long for the Raiders.
I want to say hello to Bredesen Grandma in Palmyra, cheering on the Warhawks. Message from Samuel, cheering for Heartland.
Richards under center, 3rd down and 10. Big 3rd down here for the Hudson Raiders. He'll back to pass, pumps, Looks over the middle, not a lot going. He'll step up. Now he's going to be sacked in the backfield, a 2-yard loss. Taken down, big hit by who else? Number 7, Noah Harvey, the man with the interception for a touchdown just a few plays ago. He sacks number 8. He sacks Charlie Richards, and it'll be 4th down and 12, and Hudson is forced to punt.
Yeah, you know, they were going for it on 4th and short earlier when they were in a similar situation, similar position on the field. But, with 4th and 12, you don't go for it here.
Inside of 7 minutes to go now. And Christian Bell again called on in a key spot when Hudson needs a big punt here. Duranzo, Bastine back to receive for Arrowhead. Clean snap, Bell's punt, up, high punt, and goes out of bounds at the Hudson Raider 45-yard line, so about a 25-yard punt from Christian Bell. And again, the Warhawks take over in Hudson Raider territory, this time at the 45.
I want to say hello to Ellie Smith. Shout out to the Raiders all the way from Oxford, Mississippi, tuning in tonight. Ellie, thank you for spending part of your Friday night with us. And
go Rebels.
And just as the Arrowhead fan base was really in shock, earlier in the game, I think that the same is true now with Hudson. Sitting up 27-7, knowing that how good Heartland was, but really having a commanding lead at that point. And Heartland has really shifted into a whole nother gear.
Yep. Leading 35-27, an 8-point lead for the Arrowhead Warhawks. 6:27 to go here in the 4th quarter. They have the ball at the Hudson 45-yard line. Again, going spread, 3 receivers far side. 1 lone receiver to this side, and they're going to get a delay of game call here. So back them up 5 yards on their first play of their offensive possession. And they also are going to call a timeout to get things in order here.
Well, the Hudson defense needs to have a 3 and out and get the ball back with potentially giving their offense potentially the opportunity to tie the ball game. Being down by 8, it would take a touchdown and a successful 2-point conversion to create that. That missed extra point, again, it really is it's going to be tough for Hudson. But, stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened.
And actually, I should correct myself. They didn't call a delay of game. They just, the Arrowhead Warhawks just called a timeout there before the play clock expired. So still at the 45-yard line, 1st and 10, 6:27 to go. 2 timeouts remaining for Hudson, 2 timeouts remaining for the Warhawks. And again, 3 receivers at the top of the screen. 1 receiver all by himself, Bastine to Duranzo's right in the backfield. Takes the snap, handoff Bastine. Actually, they fake it. Pass complete to the right. Interesting play call. Pass complete to Jake Hauer. And now a flag down after the play. See what this is all about.
Illegal man downfield.
Yep. Ineligible man down the field for the Warhawks, so mark him back 5 yards, and it'll remain 1st down. So end up getting a 5-yard penalty anyway. 1st and 15 from exactly midfield, the 50-yard line. Same set, 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Duranzo out of the shotgun, takes a snap. This time they do hand off Bastine, far side, makes a man miss, nice cut up, and gets across the 45, and another flag down as Bastine gets up to the Hudson Raider 42-yard line.
We have
this time a holding penalty, so back them up again. This is exactly what the doctor ordered if you're the Hudson Raiders, moving the Arrowhead Warhawks back into negative territory.
And it opens the window of opportunity potentially for Hudson as they're desperately trying to force Arrowhead into a punting situation to get the ball back for one last shot at tying this game up.
Still 1st down, though, for Arrowhead from their own what started at Hudson's 45-yard line, they're now at their own 41-yard line inside of 6 minutes, 5:50 and counting. 2 receivers to each side. 1st down and 24. Duranzo takes the snap, handoff up the middle. Not much doing there, maybe a 3 or 4 yard pickup. That'll bring up 2nd down and about 21 here for the Warhawks.
Of course, the Warhawks content to eat clock where were going kind of a 2-minute hurry up earlier. Now the rationale for doing that has gone, and they're on the other side of the spectrum really trying to eat up clock.
Ball carrier was Carson Myers, who will stay in the ball game now. And again, 2 receivers each side. Duranso checking the defense, now takes the snap. Now he's going to pass, looks over the middle, pass over the middle. It's caught and incomplete. He dropped it. Thought maybe he hung on there for a second. Pass was incomplete, intended for Tyler Jones.
I don't know if he just dropped it or for the Hudson defender punched it out. It's hard to see.
At any rate, 3rd down and 21 now for the Warhawks. I would imagine they'd stay safe with the play clock here and try to chew up some of this game clock as the clock stops, obviously, with an incomplete pass. 5:06 now and a 3rd and long. Empty set in the backfield. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Duranso all by himself. Takes the snap. He's going to fire. Under some pressure, flips it out. Pass is complete across midfield, but taken down there. A nice rolling tackle by Xander Motu. He's been all around the football tonight for the Hudson Raiders.
Xander Motu saved the 1st down for the Hudson Raiders because that pass was there where it needed to be underneath there and was making his way towards the sidelines. Looks like Harlan Arrowhead is going to punt here.
They do get the ball past midfield back to the Hudson 48-yard line, but they are lining up to punt. And a different punter in now. Parker Redmond is now into punt for the Arrowhead Warhawks. Inside 4.5 minutes to go. Burgess back again. A little bit of a weird snap. He does get the punt off. 10-yard line, fair catch called and taken at about the 13-yard line. So Burgess calls for the fair catch and 4:15 to go. Hudson down by 8, 35-27, 2 timeouts remaining with the football.
The kicking game for the Warhawks has been absolutely lights out in this second half, both the kickoffs and the punts. Well, here's the situation. Hudson down by 8, down by potentially 1 score. 2 timeouts to go, 4 minutes and change, 4:15 to be exact, deep in their own territory. They've been down deep in their own territory for the lion's share of this second half as they've been on the losing end of the field position battle, but this is probably their last shot.
So Richards will go out of the shotgun. 1 receiver each side, wing back formation, man in motion. He's going to option pitch it out, going to keep it back inside the 10-yard line and brought down once again. Noah Harvey behind the line of scrimmage makes another play, brings down Charlie Richards for a loss of about 3 yards and 2nd down and long, and that clock continues to tick down.
Boy, Harlan defensively has just got it dialed in right now. They're just on top of Hudson's running game.
Richards once again out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 left. Trapiccio in motion. Richards flips it out to the right, way over Marvin's head. Wow, Jagger Marvin was going to be open on that little bubble screen play. They've ran about 3 or 4 times tonight, but Richards shoots it over his head and goes out of bounds. So incomplete. 3rd down and 13 now for the Hudson Raiders from their own 11-yard line.
Manute Bowl would have had a hard time pulling that one down. That was way high.
Biggest play of the night so far for the Raiders. Upcoming, 3:41 to go here in the ball game. He'll go under center. 2 men in the backfield, 1 receiver to each side. Looking over the defense. He'll take the snap, back to pass, going to roll to the right, looking that way. He'll fire over there, and Holm not open, but he throws it anyway, and out of his reach. Holm nicely defended by Nick Bastine, who playing now on the defensive side of the ball for the Warhawks. Had Holm defended nicely. Richards elects to throw it that direction, throws it incomplete, and now 4th down.
And just offensively, with the exception of the 2 fumbles coming off the opening kickoff and then the next possession, the Hudson offense just has been shut down in this second half.
So now punt formation again for Christian Bell. 3:36 to go in the ball game. Both teams with 2 timeouts left. Bell again going to punt from his own end zone. And Arrowhead electing not to have anyone back to receive, not going to take any chances. Ball's going to get a Arrowhead roll across midfield, and it's going to go almost out of bounds. It's going to be downed by Hudson's Alex Richards at the Arrowhead 48-yard line. That's where they'll take over. 3:26 to go in the ball game. Arrowhead on top, 35-27, and they get the ball back.
Want to say hello to Kim, and she says cheering on the Warhawks from Southwest Florida is way better than waiting on Tropical Storm Erica. So down there in the South, thanks for broadcasting. That's Sam watching his brother Chandler. Pulvermacher from 5 hours away. Thank you for emailing in, Sam. Andy Pomeroy, the Pomeroy family from Heartland, former Warhawks, watching from Appleton tonight. Appleton, Oshkosh, and DeKalb, Illinois. That's northern Illinois, I believe.
Warhawks on their own 48-yard line. 2 receivers each side. Duranzo, backfield, going to take it himself across midfield, pushing his way forward to the Hudson 46-yard line. Taken down there. A nice pickup of about 6 yards on the first down play. But more importantly, if you're Arrowhead, the clock is running. Bastine replaced, now coming on to play tailback Zachary Hastings, the 5'9", 185-pound sophomore into the game for the Warhawks.
And if Hudson has any chance to pull this out, they got to have defensive stops and probably start using the timeouts.
Inside 3 minutes now, 2:50 and counting. 3 receivers to the left, Howard on his own to the right at the bottom of your screen. Duranzo going to take the snap, going to take it himself once again, pushes across the 45, inside the 43-yard line, close to a first down. We'll see where they'll mark it. And he did not quite get there, so 3rd down and short upcoming for the Warhawks. Inside 2.5 minutes to go. Again, 2 timeouts remaining for both teams. Again, 3 receivers set to the top of the screen. Howard all alone at the bottom. Duranzo takes a snap. This time he'll hand off up the middle, pushing his way forward across the 40. That's going to be enough for a first down. Again, that's Zachary Hastings, his first carry of the night, the sophomore running back, and gets the first down for his Warhawk teammates. Clock stops temporarily for the first down chains to move, but once they start again, we'll be at about 2 minutes left, and timeout taken by Hudson. So 2:04 to left in the ball game. Hudson now with 1 timeout remaining. They trail at 35-27.
And physically right now, Hudson is just having a hard time staying with Heartland's running attack. They're doing a lot of quarterback keepers out of that spread offense with very good success. The offensive line is opening up the necessary holes, and this Hudson defense, who particularly in the first half played just lights out, is looking worn down right now.
So again, down by 8. They need the ball back. They need a touchdown, and they need a 2-point conversion. Not a lot going their way if you're the Hudson Raiders. 2:04 to go. 1 timeout left. Warhawks with the football at the Hudson 39-yard line and a first down. Bastine back into the game for the Warhawks. Again, Howard going to be all by himself at the bottom. Near side. 3 receivers at the top. Duranzo takes the snap, handoff Bastine left side. He'll go off the left side, spins across the 35 down to the 33, 32-yard line. And another nice pickup, and looks like another timeout taken by the Hudson Raiders. Their last, so last chance here for a stop. 1:57 to go, no timeouts remaining. And once we come back, it'll be 2nd down and short for the Warhawks.
See, there's a good example of what I was talking about earlier. Earlier in the game, Hudson was stopping plays like that, for 2 or 3 yards. And Arrowhead in the second half, for the lion's share of the second half, are consistently getting 6, 7, 8, 9 yards on those runs. It's purely a physical thing. Their offensive line is opening up the necessary holes, and this is a worn-down Hudson defense who played their hearts out tonight.
Again, should allude to it that Hudson, with 10:02 remaining in the 3rd quarter, Hudson was up by a score of 27-7. Opening kickoff of the second half was fumbled by Heartland Arrowhead, retaken by Nick Holm. They score 2 plays later, make it 20-7. And then on the first play from scrimmage of the second half for Arrowhead, it is again fumbled, picked up by Hudson. They score a couple of plays later, once again making it 27-7. Arrowhead climbed their way back to a 35-27 lead, and that's where we stand. Inside 2 minutes to go in the game. Duranzo going to take the snap, 3 receivers left, handoff, and can't decide who wanted the football there. Duranzo finally hangs on to it himself inside the 30. They'll get the first down, so clock will stop momentarily, but that should pretty well do it for the Arrowhead Warhawks. 1:52 to go, no timeouts remaining for the Hudson Raiders. And the clock, again, will start to tick here. First down, the ball is spotted at the Hudson 27-yard line. And now Arrowhead content taking their time, getting back to the line of scrimmage. Let the clock run down a little bit more. 1:30. Duranzo takes a snap. Bastine left side, tripped up in the backfield by his own offensive lineman, but still falls forward for a couple of yards on that play. Across the 25, right about at the 25-yard line, so a gain of about 3. And approaching 1:10 to go here in the ball game.
We got to give credit where credit's due. And, Hudson had that 27-7 lead, and things look pretty bleak for the Heartland Arrowhead Warhawks. They're turning the ball over, penalties, and Hudson, where they're playing at Newton Field, where they're 20-1 the last 4 seasons. Things look bleak, and they just went into a whole nother gear, and Hudson just has not been able to answer it.
Inside 50 seconds to go now in the ball game. Duranzo going to keep it himself this time across the 25 down to the 20, pushes his way forward, close to another first down. It'll be 3rd and maybe a yard here. Clock continues to move, and I don't believe they have to take another snap. Actually, they will have to take one more snap here. So 3rd down and short. 20 seconds to go. They're going to let it tick down. Very interesting. Not one single play from under center tonight for the Warhead.
No,
the Arrowhead Warhawks, and it looks like they're going to take a knee out of the shotgun. And indeed he will. Duranzo takes the shotgun snap, goes to a knee, and that'll be the ball game. So final score from Hudson. Arrowhead Warhawks 35, home team Hudson Raiders 27. A valiant effort from the Hudson Raiders here tonight, but as you said, credit where credit is due. Arrowhead Warhawks fight their way back from a 20-point deficit in the second half, come back to defeat the Hudson Raiders by a score of 35-27.
But as a Hudson Raider fan, and somebody who's followed this team, and now this is the 3rd time now since 2012 that Hudson has faced Arrowhead, twice in the playoffs and then tonight in the non-conference game, and they've come up short all 3 times. But I'll tell you what, this Hudson team showed me tremendous heart, tremendous effort tonight in almost pulling up what would have been a historic upset here at Newton Field, and it looked for a time that they were going to pull it off. But still, nonetheless, a fine effort. I think even though they're going to come out of here and feel bad that they, couldn't pull it off, I think you got to feel pretty good with what you saw tonight.
I think there's a lot of positives going forward for this Hudson Raiders football team. I mean, not even, talking about playing a close game, that's really what you would have wanted coming into this game, is to play a competitive game, not necessarily expecting to win, but coming out with a lot of positive things, I think, coming forward for the rest of this season for the Raiders.
Absolutely. I saw some good things on offense. Charlie Richards, particularly in the first half, showed me a lot. I think Holm and Dayton Diemel are going to be a good 1-2 punch. Defensively, you couldn't have asked for a better defensive half in the first half from the Hudson Raiders. They got wore down in the second half, and the turnover, the interception by Richards deep in the Hudson's own territory really sealed it. It was still definitely within reach, 28-27 at that point, but it was tough to come back after that. And really, Heartland Arrowhead, you could just see it. They're down 27-7. They went into that hurry-up offense, came at you with four or five receivers, and a lot of quarterback running and things, and just physically was able to impress upon their power on the Hudson Raider defense here in the second half. And even though it's a Hudson loss, I still think it's a tremendous effort. Great game, great high school football game.
Once again from Newton Field, final score, the Hudson Raiders lose this one by a final score of 35-27 to the Heartland Arrowhead Warhawks. And a very good night. John Wecken, I'd like to thank you for bringing me along tonight. Zach Barish on the call this evening. I appreciate the game, and it was a good game, and it was a very fun first Wisconsin high school football game for me. 35-27, the Warhawks take it over the Hudson Raiders. This is MSBN.